I mean, like, this is gonna be a weird segment of the player ranking because we're not actually ranking people properly this time around. Like, we're not really doing what we were doing the previous streams. This is more so a like make sure everything is good like part of the player ranking. Um so yeah, today what we're going to do is essentially run through all of the tiers and then make sure things are consistent and I feel fine with things. Um Also, and like I think we're probably gonna like do some more like breaking up of tiers also along the way. Um we'll see how this goes. This will probably be a fucking mess. Yeah, how should I think I'll start off by like creating some space at the top. I think we'll move them up when I feel like solidified. Um in them. I think we might as well just do the purple tier stuff now. Like kind of break them up into tiers. I don't know what exactly the tier size should be, but like I think the people that I know are going to be like in the top, like definitively our top 10 players. I think we'll move up here. Which is is Tommy in that group? Tommy's kind of on the edge, which I think probably means he isn't. How many people is this? This is I think this is my top 7 players, right? Currently. So I think that's fine. After that, take Rob off that group. Like even if he is, I still feel like he's 7. So like it doesn't really make that much of a difference. Then I feel like it's probably like Earl, Yule. Is Tyson there? Maybe. I don't know. I think Sophie Clark's probably there. I guess Natalie Anderson. I don't know. Natalie Anderson's a weird one too, but I'll put her there. Wendell, I'll put there. Probably Tommy and Nick. And maybe Dee and. I mean, I guess if Dee and Kyle are there, maybe Tyson's there too. Is Todd too low? Should Todd be above Amanda? Yeah, I know. I feel like Aubrey and Sandra are like kind of close together. JT, I'm not really sure what I want to do with him. Yeah, JT's weird because like obviously JT's win is like better than most people here. But his game gets so sloppy after that, so I'm like, I don't know. They're like I kind of feel like I could argue it either way. Yeah, I think we'll keep him there. Then yeah, I think these people in this tier is probably fine. Do I move Nick down maybe? I don't know. Nick is Nick. Yeah, whatever. I think I'll keep it like that. Because like at the end of the day, it's like I think Natalie. Like I did say Nick is a better player than Natalie Anderson. I probably do stand by that. Earl down? I don't think so. I think like Earl's gonna be in the same spot as like a D and a Kyle. Like like he's still one of the better one-time winners. Um, so like either way, he's still gonna be like in the same conversation as like a D. I feel like. Um, he wasn't playing for third. He's like even in that spot, it's like Actually, I wasn't there a thing that like I forgot what exactly the case was, but I'm pretty sure there was some sort of like deal with Cassandra, wasn't there? Um, they should break up the one-time elite players and the others. I don't. I think the reason I won't is because I don't feel like it's a spot where all of them are going to be above or below. Because I feel like Tommy is someone that I feel like is above a lot of these people. Where like Natalie Anderson's probably like on the lower end of the like I don't know. I don't think it's like a clear cut thing of like all the one time winners are above or below all the other non one time winners. Um, Last time I ranked them, I had Nick Wilson above Natalie Anderson, and I probably still stand by it. um, let's see. Yeah, I think that's where I'll leave it at now. This is just kind of a mess. I don't know what I'm doing with these people. Um, so, where do I have Rachel down there? Is that spot where Rachel's too low? Because generally, as a player, Rachel probably is like closer to here, right? Um, Pretty low in Nick as a player. I mean, Nick played a. I don't know. It's like Nick's made it to the end twice, like towards the end game twice. Obviously, the first time around, he played a very like versatile game. He's like good socially on that season. Yeah, he's a bit hot headed and everything, but like still, most people loved him on that season. Um, Strategically, he pulled off a minority vote split. Was one of the better position players for a lot of that season. Physically won challenges at the end. Winners at War, he came in with a big target on his back as like the person that no one gave a shit about, and still made it very deep into the game. No, I think Nick's fine. Like he's good. I don't like Nick as a person, but like I think as a player he's good. Um, Nick didn't have the win out, but he did win out. Like Mike White and Angelina wanted to take him to Final Three anyway. Um, but obviously it helped. Like it made it so that like they never had to like really consider it. But like from what we've heard from Exit Press, Mike White always wanted to take Nick to the end. Um, Aubrey's wins like Adam Klein's. Well, that's just wrong. Um, was Devon's a lock for his award if he won Edge of Extinction? Yes. I mean, they asked Chris. Chris said no. So I mean, I don't see any reason why the Edge of Extinction winner wouldn't be on if they did say yes. And especially Rick Devens of all people. Name one episode where Aubrey was important. That's yeah, and that's the point I make. um, I think once we get to this, I'm like, I don't know if Ethan should be this high. I feel like Ethan feels a little high here. When we get to like this sort of tier, like, is Ethan really like in this tier of a player? Like, this is the top what? Like this blue tier here. This is the top 30. Is Ethan a top 30 player? Like, my gut says no. Why Chris say no? He just got married. He was on his honeymoon or whatever. Or he was going to go on his honeymoon at the time of filming. Chris Underwood's missing half his finger? What? I don't know. Like, my gut says that these people are like, I feel like Ethan and Tina feel a little too high. Denise feels a little too high. I don't know. Or like, I think it just instinctively they don't feel like top 30 players in my mind. But again, I don't know if these people do either, though, is the thing. Yeah, like Ethan, I think plays like a solid game for like the time, but like even then, it's still pretty faulty. And like because like I don't know, should he be like closer to here? Should he be just like a step above Colby maybe? Um, Like I feel like this is like I feel like this group of winners towards the top here. I feel like this is a part of the list that needs a lot of working on. To really like solidify what I want to do with these people. Really up to like here, I feel like. I think this is like a big grouping that needs a lot of work. Where again, like, so the point with this stream, like, is that hopefully by the end, the list is like structured to the point where from this point on, it's just like look at the tier, like look at it tier by tier, and then just rank the people within tier, and then that's the list. So like by that metric, this top grouping, this should be the top. So like half of that. So the top 22 of the list should be these 22 people that are here, which I think I'm fine with. With that being the case, but like that needs to be the way it is essentially for like everything moving forward. Yeah. Again, Denise doesn't suck in the grand scheme of Survivor, but I do think she is a overrated player. However, she is someone that still made it like deep twice. Obviously won a season, even though I think that was like kind of a luck-based win, especially like in her endgame stretch. And like Winners at Wars is kind of meh, but like would die happy if Rizzo's top 30. Generally, I kind of feel like he might be. Yeah, it's like, so I feel like this grouping is for sure the next grouping of non-winners. So like essentially the way non-winners work on this list so far is essentially there's Cirie, there's Amanda, and then it's these four. I feel okay with that. The question is, should these four be above or below like these sort of winners? And I'm not really sure. And like maybe there should just be more of a breakup here, but like I don't know if like Tom Westman is someone that like it's weird because like overall, like obviously I'm very low on Tom Westman as a player, but like part of me is like I feel like Tom Westman probably is a better player than these people. But I'm not sure if like Ethan and Tina are. Rizzo being top 6 non-winners ever is crazy. I mean, yeah, it kind of is. Saw someone on Twitter say that best 3 to never win are Cirie, Amanda, Rizzo. I mean, it'd be funny if that's the case. Who is number 3? Generally, I think Spencer's probably my number 3 right now. But, yeah, I think I think no matter what, Spencer's above Rizzo. Like I think it's tough to argue otherwise. I think likely Malcolm is above, but that's not like a guaranteed one. Really, it's like I think Spencer's the only like guaranteed above Rizzo, to me. Yeah, it's like I kind of feel like, because like I don't think there should be that big of a gap between these people and Amanda. I think is also something that's like kind of on my mind. Because like Amanda, yeah, she probably is like the number 2 non-winner. But I don't know if she's like that much the number 2 non-winner. Actually, I have been thinking about that too with Malcolm. Like I am thinking Malcolm might be here. But like, because like I don't think there's that big of a difference between Malcolm and Kelly Wentworth. Rizzo's 4-9 game is better than Spencer's 28 game. Is it though? I don't know if it is. Like, Spencer wins like definitively if he gets to the end. Rizzo doesn't. Spencer, even like in the spots where like he's on the bottom, it's not even because he's like playing poorly. And like there are still points where like he's in the majority on votes. Like, I don't know. It's like I don't think it's that big of a gap. Amanda being aloof strategically and here's villains and her ability to lie really harms her perception as a player to me. Was she aloof strategically and here's villains? I feel like that's not how I read her on Here's Villains. But I do think her inability to lie is definitely bad. Yeah, it's like I'm kind of thinking like maybe it should just be like this. Like, should it just be Amanda's like literally in like essentially the top of this tier instead of separating her? Because I don't even know if there really is much of an art. Okay, cool. Of like why there is like a gap between Amanda and like Spencer. I guess like just the fact that she did it 3 times, like she played 3 times. Um, mm, because like she essentially just is a Spencer and is a Rizzo that has a third run that's like decent. Like Amanda's better than JT. I don't. Yeah, I don't. I think I think it's tough because like obviously JT has like one really bad game in Game Changers. But like if we're talking about Here's Your Villains, I think JT is better in Here's Your Villains than Amanda. Um Obviously JT won the game in like a really strong winning game in Tocantins where Amanda hasn't won and struggles to win the game. So I don't know. I feel pretty good about JT being better than Amanda personally. Um, she has less win equity than Spencer. Amanda, yeah, but she also has like one more run. That's like okay. Again, really, Amanda is like really only like the best of these people because she has a third run. Is JT vote out 4 if he loses immunity? I don't think so. Not 4. I don't think Taj ever votes out JT at 4. Nah. I feel like this is. I'll probably put this here. And then, yeah, I just don't know what I'm doing with these people. Like, Tom Westman. Generally, Tom Westman could be, like, here or here. I'm not really sure what to do with him. Denise and Cochran. So I think, like, the way that my mind is currently looking at things, I think Tom, Westman, and Ben are kind of together, even though they're not exactly the same, but, like, still kind of, like, competent all-around players. Like, we're good at, like, building a group of allies, had other ways of navigating through the game outside of just social strategy means. Like, Ben technically has a better, like, has, like, 2 deep runs. Tom only has 1, but, like, Ben's win's not that good. And, like, obviously, I talk about Tom's win not being that good, but it's still one that, like, it's not where, like, he's on the bottom the entire, like, end game stretch in the way that, like, Ben is. Because, like, really, Tom only really needs to win out, like, the last, like, couple rounds. Cassandra under. Could be argued. I feel like if Sandra moves down, then I feel like Aubrey moves down because I don't think there's that big of a difference between them at this point. But I think I will keep. I think I'll keep him there. But yeah, I think Tom and Ben probably there. Then Michelle is like a tough one. I think Michelle probably will end up in the tier with Denise Cochran. And probably, yeah, I think this is probably a 5 that's okay to be together. Erica is one that I just like, is another one I'm not really sure what to do with. Where like, I do think her winning game is pretty good, all set, like, all things considered. And I do have a decent amount of faith in Erica as a player, but like, it still is just 1 appearance in comparison to like all these other winners that are this high that have multiple. And it's not like the other one-time winners that are up here are like all ones that played like pretty dominant games. You got Earl, you have what, Tommy, you have I guess D and Kyle aren't one-time winners anymore, but like still. So yeah, it's like, so essentially this means that Erica is the number 3 one-time winner, right? Oh no, Todd's there also. But still, that feels a bit weird. But I don't know, is that inaccurate? I don't know. Like I guess like maybe because she is just a one-time winner, maybe just move her down to this tier, but she's at the top of this tier. Because like these are all other one-time winners. Like Erica's so like from a winning game perspective, Erica's winning game is what, stronger than Ethan's, worse than Tina's, stronger than Denise's, worse than Cochrane's, stronger than Michelle's. But then again, I don't know. Like, I just really don't know what to do with Ethan. I think is the thing that's kind of bothering me. Because I actually feel like Ethan is probably more similar to like these players. Like, is there really that big of a difference between like Ethan and a Malcolm? If anything, I actually probably have like more faith in Malcolm strategically than Ethan. So like maybe this is a spot where like maybe these like they should move down. But then would I say Tina is a worse player than Heidik? But maybe that's more just a sign that Heidik should move down also. Because I feel like okay with Chris. Actually, let me see something on the where did I have Tina on the winner player ranking? Where the fuck is my winner player ranking? This one? I think it's this one. Yeah, I did have Nick above Natalie there. I had Todd above Nick and Natalie, which is interesting. See, I did it. Okay, I had Chris way too high, probably. I had Chris at 13. Where did I have Tina? I had Tina at 22. So yeah, I definitely had a big gap there. So yeah, I think Chris being there. Is Savannah too high here? This also feels a little too high for Savannah. Where's Joe? Here? I think that's fair. I'm not like, I don't think they're Joe, but like I think like having them like in this ballpark is kind of fine. Like because I generally I don't know if there's that much of a gap between them and Colby in the grand scheme of things. So yeah, I do think that's kind of okay. To move them down. So what, Tom and Ben are there. I think that's fine. I think this is a trio. It's just, are they too high? He's like realistically, Michelle's not that good. Like her winning game's not that good. Her winners at War Game isn't that good, but she still like made it to the end twice in their second time on an all winner season. Yeah, I might I don't know. Okay, wait. Let me. Let's see. So, yeah, she was saved by Edge of Extinction, or like was definitely benefited by Edge of Extinction. I mean, yeah, I think you can say she was saved, right? Like she was definitely next to go had Edge of Extinction not happen. Yeah, Genevieve might also be too high. I don't know. Like Genevieve might be. In this tier, possibly here. I don't know. She probably is technically too high. Okay, so yeah, Tom, Ben. So what would this make Denise? Denise would be. Okay, wait. Like, go silver one. Thank you. Number third? No, should be number 28. That feels a little high, but I don't know. I can kind of see it both ways, but I don't know. Maybe it's a spot where like, is Chris better? Like, is Chris here and like maybe? But can I argue that Erica is a better player than Denise? I don't know if I can. Because that feels a bit tough. Like, I kind of want to put Chris and Erica together as like kind of players that like were able to go from pretty bad spots to kind of like having a pretty strong like end game stretch. I feel like Savannah and Rachel being back to back kind of is okay to me now. Mike Holloway's probably in a similar like caliber of player, like players that kind of need to win out. This is probably gonna take more than one stream, isn't it? I was hoping I could get through the entire fucking list doing this. There's no fucking way that's happening. But either way, I mean, this will probably be most of the stream, though. If not all of stream, will probably be this. We'll see. Like, at this point, I need to get this done. Like, essentially, once I finish the 50 review, the plan is, at that point, just go all in on this. Like, on making the actual video of the player ranking. So, like, I need to have this done by the time I finish the 50 review. Erica's spot wasn't even that bad, though. I mean, she was, like, outside of, like, the core group. Like, she was outside of, like, the, like, Deshaun. Like, yeah, I mean, yeah, she wasn't, like, in the Chris Doherty spot where, like, he was, like, the last man standing of his alliance or whatever. But, like, it's still, like, a pretty scrappy game. Like, her and, like, Heather are able to, like, pick up the like, outsiders. Like, work with, like, Xander and Ricard. And, I don't know, it's still, like, it's a decent, like, swing in the game. I kind of do want to do this. I don't know if there's much of an argument for it, but I feel better with this. I feel like, I don't know, maybe like, I don't know, should Denise be here? I don't know. Cochran, I don't know, but Cochran also is like a weird one because, like, technically from a game perspective, Cochran should be here, right? Because like Cochran plays a stronger game than like any of these people. It's like, yeah, I don't know how repeatable that game is. But like, it is one of the best like individual games in Survivor history. Denise and Ben feel similar. Maybe. It's like, no, but like the strengths of both kind of equal each other out in a way. Cochran Ben from pregame reputation. I mean, yeah, but like who doesn't have a returning player season? And like, there's a reason he had that. I don't know. It's like Cochran's someone that like, I think you put Cochran on a modern Survivor season, he does pretty well. Like, I think it's all based around like what cast he's put in. Yeah, like I think there definitely are going to be casts where like he's pretty fucked from the beginning. Like you put him on. Actually, I don't even know if that's. I was gonna say put him on 48. He's probably fucked, but like I don't even know if that's actually the case because like is he that different from someone like a Thomas? Which like obviously Thomas didn't make it deep, but like kind of got screwed for that to happen. Yeah, the plan is like to actually format this list to be like this is essentially the final breakdown. So by the end of this phase, it's essentially like, okay, these are literally the top 7 of the list. This is the next group. This is the next group. Like that's literally the phase that we're at. This is like essentially the final thing. Which again I thought would be a quicker process, but who would have guessed? It's not. I kind of do want to put Cochrane here. Like, is Cochrane that much worse than like a Fishback? If worse at all, really. He's like, I even think there's an argument that Cochrane's here. Like, I guess like the problem with Cochrane is that we only have 2 seasons of him. Which is like a funny thing to say, but like in comparison to like these, like in comparison to like an Aubrey and a Sandra, because like really, it's like, is Cochrane that different from an Aubrey from a like player perspective? I don't know if he is. Like, I think he's around the same. It's just that we have more of Aubrey. So I think I will do that, and then I think a Denise does go probably here. But then at this point, are we just back to what I was before, and I'm just gonna move fucking Michelle here too? So I think it's essentially just we're at the same spot I was like fucking 20 minutes ago, just now Cochrane's a tier above. Malcolm Charlie should be higher than Mikey Savannah. We'll yeah, maybe. We'll see. That was the next thing we need to work on. Yeah, I think Chris and Erica together is fine. I think this grouping together is fine. Again, we'll debate like where they are, but I think them being together is fine. Heidick, I kind of want to move down. It's tough because obviously Heidick's winning game is very, very strong, but it is also Brian Heidick, to where like I don't like, I kind of feel like as a player, is he that dissimilar from a Johnny Fairplay? Like, obviously very different games and like approaches to the game, but like I feel like they kind of have like the similar like issue in the fact that they're like both kind of icky and like people don't like really respect them by the end. Last stream I had Aubrey above D. Yeah, actually I just realized that I do have that on my player ranking, don't I? Fuck, where's it there? Is that what I'm doing here? I think I might. Yeah, I think I might do something like this. Or like this is a tier and then this is a tier. What is this? This is top 14. Is Kyle top 14 player? Is Nick a top 14 player? Okay, that's also kind of fucked. Yeah, I don't know what to do with Tyson. I don't know, I think placement-wise, a lot of it kind of does make sense, though. Or, like, placement in comparison to other people, I should say. Obviously not, like, number-wise, but, like, in terms of, like, who is where, I think it's kind of fine. Earl's, like, a tough one, because I used to assess him very high, but I do think there are definitely criticisms of Earl. And, like, also the fact that he's only a one-time winner. It's like, yeah, I don't know if he, because like I feel like Tommy Sheehan is like, is he the only one-time player? I mean, Kyle's essentially a one-time player, but like whatever. But like Tommy is one that again played from the top and the bottom. I feel like there's like, or like played in spots where he was put on the bottom outside of his control and was able to get out of it. To clarify it better. Ty should be above Earl. I could definitely see it. I don't know. Yeah, I think I'll keep this here. I'll keep that. Keep that. I'll keep this. Yeah, it's like, okay, now the debate between this tier. Do I just continue with this? Do I break it up? So I did have Savannah above Charlie for the 50 player ranking. Part of me kind of wants to change that. I don't know. Mess something with the shifting down. I think, yeah, I think this. I think I missed this one. Yeah, okay, I just missed this one. So this should fix it, doing that. Maybe? Did that fix it? That's aligned. Yeah, I think that fixes it. Again, just double checking again, make sure everyone's still here. It is. Okay, so yeah, that should amount to 1502. Like, that's how I double check to make sure I didn't delete anyone accidentally. Yeah, I think I feel fairly confident on, like, that part of the list now. Sesternino is always a tough one. I feel like David Wright. It's like Sesternino. Charlie's a bit of a weird one too. He's like, I feel like gut-wise, Sesternino's probably on the lower end of this. I feel like Charlie and Malcolm, and maybe it's just these four. Yeah, maybe it is just all four of them. Like, Malcolm and Wentworth, I think, are kind of on a similar level. Charlie might be there. The problem is, okay, so I think, like, game-wise, they're similar. Charlie's not really. Like, Charlie's a bit different game-wise, but I feel like he's in the similar caliber as them, though. Is it because, like, both Wentworth and Malcolm have, like, 2 good to decent games. Charlie only has 1. But I feel like Charlie, like, his 1 game is probably better than both of Wentworth and Malcolm's games. So I feel like it probably evens itself out. David Wright is probably... he probably is still in this tier. Like, he's probably, like, a step below Wentworth. Charlie bit my finger? What the fuck? What? But yeah, I feel like these 4 together does still feel fine. The question is above or below this group. And really, these next 2 groups. I'm trying to remember. So this is where the other top tier non-winners are. Is there that much of a gap? Like, so, okay, this is the thing. I think Malcolm, I think ultimately, based on Survivor career, I am going to have, like, a tad below Denise. I think it's kind of what my gut's telling me for Malcolm. Charlie, though, is like, I could see it going either way versus Savannah. Savannah is definitely a sloppier, like, has a sloppier game, but I think it's probably a little bit more, like, probably has, like, more strengths on, like, the competition side of things. And, like, probably is more, like, openly, I don't know, like, I think she's able, like, I think, like, Savannah's the type of person that, like, if she gets to the end, she probably wins more times than Charlie does. But Charlie's probably better in terms of, like, getting to the end. I do think I am going to go above, though. I think I... Is that the right way to do this? I think the bet... Okay, I should just be doing it this way. Like, I should be selecting every row, just to make sure I don't fuck anything up. Then they might even be above... Like, so on my new era player ranking, I do have them above... Like, I do have Charlie above Erica, right? Oh, see you later, Sorquel. Danny Boatwright. I think Danny Boatwright's a decent player. Had a bad second appearance, but I think her first appearance is like again one where she dominates the first half of the game, and second half of the game she's playing well from the bottom. Oh, you read David Wright as Danny Boatwright? Yeah, Danny Boatwright's what here? See, I think my guts tell me put them also above Chris and Erica. And maybe stop there. Yeah. I think that might be where I go. I want to look at my new era player ranking. I'm pretty sure I had Charlie. Well, I had Charlie way above Erica. Too bad. I think this is underrating Erica probably, but yeah, I don't think I really stand by this list. But I think I feel okay with this. On Island, Charlie was looked at as a semi-goat. I mean, like he definitely wasn't. Yeah, he was like again. Like I think goat is a very loose like description of that, but yeah, like he was definitely not like he was probably like threat number like 4 or 5 by the time in like the final 8 or something. But yeah, yeah, I think this is probably fine. Like Tom is kind of a weird one though. Like these are all players that like have 2 deep runs. Tom is a weird one. Like Tom is like someone that's like kind of standing out for me because he only has like 1 deep run. Charlie should be with Rob C. I think Charlie's better than Rob C. Personally. I don't think Rob C is really that good. Like I think Rob C is very overrated, in my opinion. Like he's obviously one of the better players of all time, but I think Rob C is pretty overrated. Let's see. Like I think in terms of legacy, they're around the same. In terms of like they have like 1 good run and 1 not so good run, but yeah, just generally I don't have as much faith in Rob C as a player, as I do with Charlie. Yeah, Tom's the weird one. Part of me wants to move Tom down here, but like Tom is like the tough thing about Tom too is like, how are we assessing this? Is this like mostly Palau Tom? But he's like, and I think that's the tough thing when you're assessing like physicality. This is never getting done. Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, like in terms of I think Steven's a much better player than Rob, to be honest. Especially the more I hear them talk about the game, I think Steven's a much better player than Rob. Like just listening to their analysis of the game, Steven clearly understands the game way better than Rob does. And again, I love Rob Cisternino. I've been listening to him for years. I think Rob Cisternino has, I don't know. I think there are definitely points where I don't think he gets the strategy of the game at points. But yeah, like I feel like almost every time I hear an argument between Steven and Rob, I agree with Steven's side of it. In terms of whenever they argue about strategy. But yeah, I kind of want to move Tom down here. I feel like Tom, it really is only 1 good game. His second game's like, it's one where he's playing from the bottom, and I guess it's like he's able to pull over JT for 1 vote. So that's something. But like, it's not that great. I think the thing that would make him want to put him higher is like the reason why he was hired to begin with is because like he is like pretty much like the best physical competitor in the history of the show. In his 1 appearance in Palau, the problem is that like, he could only really do that on Palau. Like in the like he's like it's it's like kind of this weird, because again, with physicality, it's like a thing that like as time goes on, you're not going to be as good. He's more like Savannah, maybe. I mean, like that is where I had him to begin with. Yeah, maybe I put him with these people because like these are all just the people that had to win out. Like maybe he's at the top of this, but like yeah, I think maybe that is what I do. Like he's just like a better Tom. Or if I'm better Mike, I mean, better Mike Holloway. Um, so yeah, I think that probably is fair. Um, Rob C, I kind of want to have in this grouping, which is like kind of a mess now because Genevieve is getting added here. All right, let's whatever. Like originally, the grouping was this: it was Dominic, Devin, Jesse, Carson as like the best like one-time non-winners essentially. And I think that's still a solid grouping of people. I think Rob C can be in this group. I think he is in the caliber of like a Jesse, a Carson. Like he's in that conversation. Mother Vive is one I'm not sure. I kind of feel like she's in this ballpark as well. It's like obviously it's different because she has like 2 games, but like it's like neither of her games are as strong as like the games of these people. But her second game is like very like in comparison to like Rob C. It's like Rob C's Amazon game is probably better than Genevieve's 47 game, but like her 50 game is much better than Rob's All Stars game. So like generally her 50 game is like a very good, like it's probably one of the best like non or like best like I was supposed to say non-jury. Well, my Jeff Probst. Yeah, one of the better like pre-jury games of all time. Speaking of pre-jury, this is something I found funny. Something I found out recently that would have made the remove video if I didn't finalize it already. Tracy Hughes Wolf claims she was called for 50. I didn't hear that until today. That's something. Don't know if, I mean, she said it. So, I mean, like, I don't know, like, how serious that was, but whatever. Supposedly she just got contacted and then never followed up on. Like, she was asked, like, have you ever been called for a returning player season? And she said once a year ago. And that they told her to like to send in the video. She sent it in and said we'll like was it follow up with you, and then they just never did. So like if that is a real, like if she actually was contacted, it doesn't seem like she was really considered, but like might have been just an availability call or whatever. I don't know. These people I think are fine. I think where exactly, like I think these people together is fine. Where exactly they are on the list, maybe we could debate this a little bit more. But so like, yeah, where's Ethan and Tina? I think that is something we need to piece together. I do generally feel like they're not that much better than like Colby, Kathy, Lex, right? Like because like Colby versus Tina, like Tina's better in Australian Outback, but like Colby's probably like a more consistent player. It's like it's not even like Tina's that much better than Colby. Like Colby almost beats her in that season. So like Tina is better, but like I don't think it should be that big of a gap. So it's like I feel like yeah, maybe they're just next. The question is, are they worse than Rob C? I'm trying to remember player ranking. I'm pretty sure in the past I have had them higher than Rob C. Yeah, so I had them like a spot above Rob C. So are they better than this grouping? I don't feel like they actually are, though. So like before, I have had Heidick in this tier too. I don't know. Maybe it is a spot where like maybe they are here. Maybe they're like one. Like maybe they're like right above Rob. In like this grouping. Like just barely above them. Yeah, I feel like Rob's better strategically, or at least is a more active strategic player. Where like Ethan and Tina are very like honor-bound players, like stick with their groups. Like how well they do is very much determined on how well their group does. Like obviously Rob is more dynamic. He's willing to flip on his group. Heideck's a bit of a different player, but like I think Heideck's just like, what the fuck am I doing with Heideck? Generally, Heideck could be here too. He's real. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. Heideck probably is here because, like, worst comes to worst, Heideck probably is just a Tom Westman, Mike Holloway style player that needs to win out. Because, like, obviously, I do have like qualms on like, will he be able to do what he does on most seasons? Is he just too unlikable? But like, at the end of the day, it's like worst comes to worst, he still has the ability to win out in the way that Tom and Mike do. Like, he still is like a very dominant physical competitor on his season. So he probably, yeah, it's like he probably is still in like this sort of grouping. I don't know. I'm still debating what I want to do with Ethan and Tina. I think the thing about Heideck too is just that his winning game is so like, it's such a dominant winning game that's like, yeah, it's like I don't really have faith in him, but like it's not really like demonstrated. Like the reality is like he's like the only time we've seen him is him playing like one of the best games ever. I kind of want to go. I am kind of leaning Ethan lower right now. Like, I'm kind of feeling like maybe Tina is here. And then Ethan's like at the top of this, maybe? Why is Tina's high? I mean, she won in a like pretty dominant early game. She didn't almost won Blood vs. Water, even though that was a very fucking finicky season. But like she's theoretically close to being a 2-time winner of the show. I think her being this high is fine. Like again, she plays a fairly dominant winning game. She did change her pronouns. That is the case. That Tina is the first, second, and third female to be voted out, which is, wait, what is the first, second, and third female winner to get voted out? Is that really the case? What? Okay, wait, let me think this through. Wait, so like this is like after they had won? Yeah, I is that actually the case? So like yeah, All Stars. The other female winner, so like other female winners is Jenna, who gets who leaves obviously. Sandra and Parvati make it to the end. Yeah, is there no one in between? It really is just like her there and then her twice in Blood versus Water. That's insane, actually. That's such a weird stat. I never actually even thought about that. Genevieve too high. She's Mike White tier. Maybe. Like I feel like she's like kind of in the in between here. I think like part of me is like, I'm kind of feeling like this grouping might be better. I don't know. Maybe not. Genevieve versus Rob C is a bit of a tough one too. So okay, this is the thing that's like weird to me is I feel like Rob C feels like he's with these people, right? Like I think like this feels fine. Like Rob C feels of the caliber of like a Carson and a Jesse. Like he feels like he's in that sort of grouping. Genevieve is like, I think is one that I could argue is like being here or like here. It's like I don't know which one to go with. Um he's like I feel like Genevieve. Yeah, I'm debating how much of this is like potential more so than like reality. I think I'll settle on here. I think I just settle on here and we determine on if she's like at the top or bottom of this later. Under Lex. I think she like my gut is that she's better than Lex. But like yeah, I feel like you could definitely make the argument that she should be in this tier though. Um then yeah, I still need to figure out what I'm doing with Tina. Um Tina. Like part of me wants to put her here. I really don't know what to do with Tina. Like she plays a pretty dominant game, but I also don't feel like she's like a particularly consistent player. Obviously, she was like a very like obviously she had a big target on her back, but still was like a fairly easy person to boot right away on All Stars. Blood versus Water. It's like she plays a pretty dominant first half, but a lot of that was like pregame. Um, and it's like her post merge is really bad. Yeah, maybe it is just closer to this. Yeah, I think I will probably settle on this. Like, I think the problem with Tina is I think, like, generally, I think Tina's resume is better than how I actually feel about Tina as a player. Um, because, like, when you think of, like, because, like, Tina is someone that, like, is theoretically almost a two-time winner, played a pretty dominant Australian Outback game. But when you, like, look at, the finer details, like, I don't think Tina, like I think Tina's like a very like honor bound player. Like she's too loyal to like Colby on Australian Outback. Her like back half of her game in Blood vs. Water is so sloppy. She isolates people on that season. It's like, yeah, I think I'll leave her here. Um, then I think this is a tier that we need to break up. Probably, I think this is like kind of, and generally actually with Tina, I think I'm like realistically, I think Tina's probably just like in the middle. Like I think she's someone that I'm willing to like essentially have at the bottom of this tier slash on the top of this tier, or like I guess like I'll put her here to kind of indicate that. No doubt Tina could be above Colby. I mean, she beats Colby and she manipulates Colby into doing what she wants. And like I mean, like Tina was in the better position than Colby the entire game of Australian Outback. So it's like, yeah, like I think Tina's better. uh, let's see. I think we'll move down to around here. So yeah, we're working on this now. I think Ethan and Colby should be back to back. I don't think there's that much of a gap between the two. I think they probably have like similar faults in their games. Yeah, Ethan won, but yeah, I think they're of a similar caliber. Um, so like I think Russell Hantz and Jonathan are probably in a similar caliber. Um, Colby above Ethan. Yeah, I could see it. Yeah, I'll probably do it. Yeah, I think that's fine, especially in a post 50 world. Like when we're comparing like Colby and 50 to like Ethan and Winners at War, it's like yeah, Colby's way better. I think before that, it's like I would give Ethan the edge pre 50. But yeah, I think post 50, it's like, yeah, I probably do give the edge to Colby again. Yeah, fair play. I think you got like fair play, Hance, Jonathan. Okay, actually, let's do something else. I think we need more room here. Cool. Dude, this is literally gonna take like a month or something, isn't it? Just to this is gonna take forever. But whatever. I just want to also double check, make sure things are still fine here. I think it's like consistency, like in terms of the formatting and everything. I think everything's still fine. Okay. Wait, too far down. We will stop here. All right. So okay, I think like in terms of workshopping this, it's like I feel like fair play, Russell, Jonathan are in like kind of a similar ballpark. We could just start ranking the top, but oh. I don't know if it is taking so long, should we? But I kind of want to still leave it open for like moving some people around still. Especially because I feel like there's like a decent chunk of the middle that I'm not like super solidified in, like this part of the list. So like some people are probably gonna be moving up and down tiers to where like, because the thing is like when we get to the next phase, yeah, obviously I say this every single fucking time, but like I generally feel like this is gonna be easy, right? Like this, I have a pretty solid idea of what my ranking is. Like within this tier, it shouldn't take too long to figure out what the placements are. Like I think by the time we get to that, it should be fairly simple. Like even this, I feel like is like pretty simple. Where like it should just be fairly quick once we get around to it. To where like I'd rather just like keep it still like fairly open until we get to the end, and then at that point it's just like we just like lock everyone together around the same time. But yeah, what do I want to do here? What the fuck? What do I do with Joe Hunter? Yeah, like Joe's just someone I don't know what to do with. Mike White. It's like Ty. Should Ty be with Colby and Ethan? I think that might be fine. Like he's obviously only played twice, but both times he made it to the end. I don't know win equity wise. Is kind of an issue, but like he's a pretty consistent player, is able to find a lot of advantages and all that sort of stuff. Decent challenges. It's like I think more times than not he makes it to the end game. He's not honor bound. I mean, I don't think that's like the defining thing. Like I think they're still like around the same like caliber of player though. Like I think Ozzy and Tasha are probably like similar-ish. Kathy and Lex, I don't know what they're real. Maybe Kathy and Lex kind of like Mike White level. I guess the difference is that like I think someone like Lex, actually really Lex is probably closer to like the Hance. Obviously it's different since that like Lex probably wins if he gets to the end. But like I think he's like a similar style of personality though. Or like he still pisses off like half his cast. And does play like a fairly dominant game. So I think Ozzy and Tasha are probably with Kathy. Okay, cool. Fuck. Is there a way? Oh wait, is there a way to like make it so like it stays here? I don't remember. Freeze panel. No, that's not what I want. Yeah, whatever. Um, Again, it's not. This is just like piecing. Like I'm not. These aren't actually them ranked. This is just grouping them together. Which also Joe's not in that group either. Um, like actually, really, even this is like not necessarily locked in yet. But like, essentially, it's not until they're up here is where they're actually like ranked. Um, but essentially, like this is the grouping we're looking at right now. I feel like these four together. Okay, dude, fuck me. I hate that. That's still a thing. Yeah, these four together is fine. Kathy, Ozzy, Tasha, Mike White. Is Ozzy that different from Colby and Ethan though? Um, no, Jenna is a little bit higher. I don't even remember where. Actually, I think it's like a decent chunk higher, but she probably shouldn't be. Which again, that's why we need to work on this. Um, yeah, it's like a decent gap. Um, like I think Colby, Ethan, Ozzy like feel similar. Again, Jonathan is above Joe. Um, if you're really upset, like I'll fucking move him there. But yeah, like Jonathan will be above Joe. By the end. Um, um, like Joe, like at the end of the day, like Joe does have a lot of similarities to like this here, right? Like he does have a lot of similarities to Coach. But I kind of gave him like extra points for just being someone that like seems to just make it to the end every time he plays. Crazy say, but Colby's a better strategic player than Ozzy. I mean, that's pretty fair. But also, I think Ozzy has like more. Like Ozzy's made it to the merge every time he's played, right? Like I think Ozzy's just type of player that like will make it to the merge every single time he plays. Is just like, can he make it past that? Um, huh. Like I feel like these. So like really, it's like with a lot of these players. These are all players that like I think more times than not they'll probably have deep runs. I guess like fair play you could debate that with, and like I guess like modern Hance, but like they've had multiple deep runs. I think like with this grouping, like the Colby, Ethan, Ozzy, it's like a grouping that I think is still pretty well liked. Like they're not like they're pretty liked by the jury. I think like they're below or they're going to be above the like Lex, Fairplay, Hance, Jonathan Young tier, which is like a group that's not going to be liked by the jury. Um, and then yeah, I just need to piece together like what I'm doing with like Mike White, Kathy, Tasha. Um, I mean, like I think that like my gut says that Fair plays an early boot more times than not, but like we literally have 2 seasons of him not being that, and like or like he is Micronesia, but he's not meant to be. Like he was actually like the best position on his starting tribe in Micronesia. Um, and like obviously some that like really a lot of that's pregame, but like still, um, is Arch that much worse than Jonathan? Probably not, and we'll have to fix that in a second. But yeah, I think Ty's one I'm still like kind of debating if he like is he just in this tier. Like the problem with Ty is I think like he actually has like jury perception wise, I think he's actually probably like closer to like this. Like he's not like as hated, but like he's not like particularly respected on either of his seasons. Like he will like again, he has winning scenarios. He's not like drawing dead jury wise, but like he's not like adored by the jury on his seasons. But he is such a consistent player to where like I kind of feel like he should be still with like an Ozzy. Um So I do feel like this is probably a grouping together. Maybe Kathy can be in there. Because Kathy, both times she plays, she was pretty well respected by her jury. Jonathan and Ty are pretty similar. I think there's a it's like I think there are similarities. I think Jonathan runs into bigger issues with a jury, or I think there are more people that actively hate Jonathan. I think Jonathan does worse social work. Because I think the thing is people I think Ty is one that I don't think he does that much actually wrong to piss off the jury, from a social perspective, to clarify. Obviously he makes strategic decisions that piss people off at points, but in terms of from a social perspective, he's a purely affable guy. People like Ty. Jonathan's just kind of a dick. People just don't like Jonathan. That's kind of why he's in the Russell kind of category to me. Genevieve and Mike White are similar. Yeah, it's probably fair. Oh, is it more so a spot where Mike White should be moved up to here? Because I can kind of see that, to be honest. I can kind of see him in the Rob Cisternino, maybe him and Rob, actually, I feel is actually maybe more of a fair comparison. I think I'll leave it like that. I think I'll move Mike there, and I think just keep Genevieve and Rob C in that tier. I think these are probably the next. Okay, so I think at this point I just need to figure out what I'm doing with Tasha. I think it's those 5 is fine. I think these 4 is fine. And then what the fuck am I doing with Tasha? Really, actually, Tasha probably is more like Tai Trang. From what I understand, Tai actually could win. I don't know. It's close. Tai definitely gets votes. If it's Aubrey, Tai, Joe, what is that scenario? Scott, Julia, and Jason vote Tai. Debbie might vote Joe. Yeah, it's kind of a mess. No, I'll still be on Wednesday. I work on Thursday, so I can't watch the. I work during the episode, so I can't watch the actual episodes live on Thursday. I think I can definitely see a lot of Tasha Tai comparisons. But I'm not sure where exactly they are here. I guess it doesn't really matter that much right now. Tasha's better than Tai. I think I don't know. Tasha is just such a I guess goat's not really the right term. Because obviously she gets votes in Cambodia, but I think it's tough to see a situation where Tasha wins and she was actively playing to lose for most of Cambodia. Was Tasha called for 50? We haven't Survivor's Night claims she was called. I wouldn't be surprised if she was called, but we don't have it confirmed from her. Tasha couldn't even win against a pre-juror and Miss Survivor. Well, I mean, Natalie won. I actually don't even remember. Did Tasha or Wentworth come in second? I actually don't even remember. Tasha wins against Keith and Spencer. Don't know. It's close. Does she cut Spencer and Kageon? I don't think so. No. Yeah, like Keith definitely gets votes. I think all three get votes, but yeah, I'm not sure who actually wins. But I could definitely see like a plurality coming out for Keith. Rock the Block fans outraged with that Kim and Chelsea one. What are we talking about? I mean, yeah, like I know, like Spencer and Tasha are both like not well respected. Again, the returning rumors for B20 are not real. Like that's clearly just something like some random fan made up. But yeah. Where are we at? I think we'll just leave this for now. We'll figure it out later. Then we got this tier. I think a lot. Like I feel like Danny Boatwright, Natalie White together is fine. Besepia with them's kind of fine. Adam Klein and Jam Jam are like a bit different. And like are actually like radically different players. Like I feel like these three together are fine, and like putting them here is also kind of it's probably fine. I don't know. I actually think there's an argument that they're better than Hans Fairplay in like that grouping. But it's close. But yeah, like with Adam and Jam Jam, it's like they're both like radically different players from even each other. Like Jam Jam is like kind of like I think Jam Jam's strong suit is social, and even though like he obviously is like still combative and that sort of thing, but still like even though he gets into fights with people, people still love Jam Jam. Like Jam Jam, like I think is like so good socially, but is like pretty bad strategically. But like if he's able to find someone, like it's like he's kind of this player that like if he finds a good like group that's able to get him towards the end game, like he is a fairly likely winner if he gets like towards the end. Is Morgan live? Is Morgan gonna be live by the time I'm done? We'll see. Adam did play safe all season. That is true. That is what Adam's known for. But yeah, Jam Jam. James is just a tough one to really gauge. Adam, I also don't know where to land Adam. But like it's like for different reasons. Like Adam's just like he's like I think it's like a difference of like Jam Jam strategically is like not really active enough. Like he's someone that's like a bit too like confident in his like he's like it's actually based around completely different things, right? Like Adam is someone that like is very messy strategically, like Jam Jam, but for like different reasons. Like Adam is like too active in the game and is like in a spot where like he fails at so many of the things he tries. Where like Jam Jam just doesn't try enough. But like I actually can kind of see them like equal each other out to a degree. I mean, he has Winners of War. Is that even better or worse? I can't even tell if that's even better or worse. It's like I actually I think I am gonna sell them together. I don't think that's the most egregious thing. Even though it's like coming from a different place, but I kind of feel like they kind of land around the same. Jim comes back, he probably does mediocre. So you're saying he does like Adam? uh I think they're probably in a similar bandwagon. Like we can debate like where other people land in comparison to them, but like I do feel like I am gonna kind of tie them together. Um, then we got this again. I think Coach and Joe together makes sense to me. I think that definitely feels kind of like a duo. Austin is one that I'm not really sure what to do with. Like my problem with Austin is I think Austin's way too loyal. Like he ultimately is like there's part of me that wants to put him in this grouping with like some of the best to never like the best like one-time non-winners. But I think the problem I have with him is that one, his win equity is like not as strong. Like essentially he's a worse Devin Pinto. Um I think is like my issue with Austin, where by the way, I think we can move down a little bit. Where like Devin Pinto had the killer instinct to like cut Ashley, go to the end game with like the people he thought he could beat. Austin couldn't do that. Austin like was not willing to cut D. Like I think their games are pretty similar outside that, but like there's just not that killer instinct there. And I think that's the thing that's like really harming his placement for me. Um See, I really don't know what to do with it. I actually feel like there's an argument he's lower, but I don't know. Dawn. Trying to think of why I had her here. I mean, like, it's not really a 1-for-1. I mean, like, I think like they're so like I think Dawn's Karamoan game and Austin's 45 game are kind of around the same, like sort of like tier. Um, Dawn does have South Pacific, which is like okay, but like I feel like Austin's probably a more consistent player. Maybe they are still together. Um, yeah, we'll talk about Courtney Yates. Hatch is also a weird one. There are like Hatch parallels with like Adam and Jam Jam, right? Kind of sloppy strategically, but still has like some decent foundations in the game. Um, I don't know how Hatch does on like any season outside of Borneo. I think Hatch actually being with them is like kind of okay. I mean, Hatch is still very like innovative, like strategic thinker for his time. Um, and like actually, this is probably more of a negative towards Hatch, but I wouldn't say Hatch has no competition. It's like ultimately, it's like he was being like it's like people like Sue and Kelly and Stacy were like playing better than he was early on in the game. Um, like Amber's above Hatch. I mean, we'll talk about it. I think there's an argument this tier is above these, but we'll get to it. This is gonna take so long. I can't believe I actually thought I could get through this in one stream. But yeah, I think Austin and Dawn. I think I'll put him here. I think a tier like I think right below Joe and Coach. Um, I guess we should also argue: is Coach and Joe above Hatch, Adam, and Jam Jam? Uh, I'm not really sure. I can kind of see it. Yeah, it's like I kind of feel like they are, especially because like both of them have had a deeper run. Like because like, uh, yeah, like both Coach and Joe have at least 2 deep runs. Um, wait, I fucked this up. This needs to be here. Um, Vecepia is kind of a weird one, also, but I think we'll leave it as is. Like I think Danny and Natalie are probably better. Definitely have more like inherent respect from a jury than like Coach and Joe do. Sean and V's games are impressive considering the difficulty they face. Yeah, that's fair. Especially for like the time that they played and everything. Yeah. I'm fine with this for now. Yeah, but okay, now we're getting to like Amber, Jenna, Aris. I think they probably should move up. Because like I think Aris, like like if even if we're taking these like as individuals, Aris on his own, I think is someone that I probably went too far down on when we were talking it through. He's like, is Aris really that different from like this grouping? Like at worst, he's in this grouping. I feel like. Vesepia is kind of bad. No one's ready for conversation. I think Vesepia is like, I don't think she's an active enough player, and like there are definitely a lot of things that kind of just lucked out for her. But I think there is some like very good like she's like a very palatable person. She's someone that is still like able to get in with like Sean and Kathy and them that are able to do a lot more of the legwork for her. Like I think there's definitely a lot of like holes to point out with her, but like I think it's like kind of a similar case with like a Danny in the grand scheme of things. I think Natalie probably is better than them, maybe. I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, where are we at? We are at, I fucked this up, but yeah, we're at this. I think Aris is someone that I think at least moves up to here. Maybe Aris is with Tina, actually. Aris versus Ethan. I'm pretty sure I had Ethan higher. But I don't know if that's actually the case. Ethan. Where's Aris? Did I have Aris like super low? Oh, I did. Okay, I don't know why Aris is that low. But like, I think at worst, Aris is Ethan. Yeah, like they're both like kind of the betas to a more dominant player, like strategic player. On their winning seasons, to clarify. Ours probably had less of a like a good guy image than Ethan did. More faith in Ethan. I actually kind of feel the opposite. I feel like I have more faith in Aris, strategically at least. I think I'm at least moving him here. I think at least he's at least on Ethan level. Which, to be fair, is that above or below Ozzy? I actually don't even know. I mean, Ozzy has just so many appearances. That's like, yeah, Ethan would have taken Lex to the end and lost. Aris would have taken Sarit to the end and probably won. Yeah, I think I'll settle on here. I think this is fine for now. Jenna and Amber, I think tying them together is still fine. It's just a question of where should they be. Like, is this too low? I had Amber as like one of the worst winners, didn't I? When I ranked all the winners by like, yeah, Amber and Jenna are there. Well, I had Natalie White so low. That's kind of funny. Yeah, they're both pretty difficult players, and like, I think the tough thing is also like the Jenna Heidi thing, because like ultimately they shouldn't be that far apart, but like they are on this list, and it's like, I don't know. Like I think there is a difference because Jenna is like better at competitions, I guess. So like I think that you can definitely give like a minor, and like obviously Jenna won, Heidi didn't, but like so it's like I think that like Jenna probably is someone I would assess higher than Heidi, but it shouldn't be like that big of a gap. Is Amber really worse than Natalie White? I think what Natalie White did was a lot more intentional. Um, where like I think Natalie White like again like aligned with like because I think like the difference is that like Amber actually liked Rob, Natalie maybe didn't like Russell. So like I think like with Natalie, it definitely felt like a more strategic thing of her aligning with Russell, where like Amber, like I don't know how much like naturally strategic that was, and how much of that was just that she actually like really liked Rob. Um, Natalie, thinks she was gonna win. I think she thought she had a chance. I don't know if she thought she was definitively gonna win. Um, the difference is Natalie White didn't fall in love with Russell Hanson. Kinda, yeah, kind of. Yeah, it's like I kind of feel like maybe above this grouping was kind of what I was thinking, but like maybe Jenna isn't. Like I don't know. Like Amber's the type of person that like, especially early on, Amber, she's gonna make it deep more times she plays. Most times she plays. And to fair, same thing with Jenna, right? Like I think they're like on paper consistent players. And again, this is taking their like younger version of themselves, like when they like at the time that they won. I feel like they're the type of players that like will make it to the merge most times they play. I don't know how active players they are to like make a lot of out of that by the time they get to the merge, but um I do think they're kind of consistent. And two for Jam Jam is to a degree as well. Um Underrated in the social department, Jenna. I would probably agree with that because I think a lot of people do remember her as like just being like yeah, like the mean girl and that sort of thing. When like she actually had pretty good relationships with a lot of the people in the post merge, especially. Um, but yeah, I think that's fair actually. Maybe Jam Jam. And at that point, do I just like put them in the same tier, or do I just leave it like this? Maybe I just leave it like this. I keep Amber and Jenna here. Jam Jam, Adam. Yeah, I think I'll leave it like this for now. I think that's kind of fine. Like I think the thing about Jam Jam is like he's like I could move him here, but at this like at the end of the day, he's probably just like in the middle to where like is there really that much of a difference? In like changing him like tier wise, it's like he's probably just gonna be around the same as like it is right now anyway. Um, yeah, I think that's something you can credit Jenna for is that like the fact that like Jenna's strategy coming into their season was the flirt of all the men, and she like was on tribal all women. Um, but yeah, I think we're fine there at this point. Um, Now we have this grouping, which this is definitely one we need to work on. Um, which I guess it's me saying that every fucking tier we get to. Okay, I fucked that up. Okay, so what the fuck are we doing here? So like, okay, I think like pointing out the people that I think should be tied together. I think Andrea, probably Danielle De Lorenzo, probably Tiffany. I think are all like kind of similar caliber players. Maybe Sierra Dawn Thomas. Maybe you can add her to that too. Um, I think they're all kind of like players that I think will do well most times they play, like get to the post merge. I don't know if they necessarily get to the end. Um, and like they're not really like the best at any like individual aspect of the game, but are like kind of decent, like all around players. And maybe Sierra Dawn Thomas isn't necessarily because it's not like Sierra Dawn Thomas is particularly good at like immunity challenges or anything. where like Tiffany, Andrea, Danielle could definitely like theoretically like win out. Um, but to be fair, I think Sierra's. Actually, no. I think Sierra might be like a tad below them. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I guess that's fair. Sierra like did have to compete against Mike and also Brad, her second time around, who were like two like seemingly elite competitors. So that's kind of a fair thing. Um, but yeah, all right. Yeah, maybe I'll move Sierra back up. Jerry, Rupert, Stephanie Grossa. I feel like Jerry and Steph are like kind of in a similar ballpark. Kind of like mixed reception in terms of like the jury liking them or not. Um, can't like more times than not make it fairly deep. Struggle to win the game a lot of times. Jerry should be above Hatch. Eh, I don't know. I don't think so. My gut says no. I think at the current time, Jerry would have high win equity. Like maybe, but like I don't know how much that is like founded on like the game she plays. um, let's see. So I think I'll keep them tied. What I do with Rupert, what I do with Brad. Gavin is someone that I actually kind of want to move to the Austin level. Um, because like he's a pretty fluid player. Uh, like you could actually argue Gavin has the killer instinct that Austin doesn't. Like Gavin was willing to cut Victoria. Um, actually, let me see. The funny is that I did put Gavin in dark blue to begin with, to where like I think the intention was to put him in this tier. Okay, what is the difference between him and Devin? Is there not much of a difference? But this feels like kind of insanely high to put Gavin. But I think that is what I intended to do to begin with. Why did I move him down again? Yeah, I forgot. There was a reason I moved him lower. Like, I definitely think he's worse than Gavin. But, or fuck, he's worse than Devin, I mean. But like, I don't think it's by that much. Yeah, it's probably that he wasn't active enough. Yeah, I think that probably was it. Yeah, Jervit's a fight, but like that's kind of the same thing with Devin. Um, there was a reason why I just wasn't listening. Yeah, let me see. What would this put him at? So Gavin would be a top 50 player if he's here. Actually, was Devin Pinto and like these people are top 50? Genevieve's top 50? That feels too high, doesn't it? uh, whatever. We'll deal with that later, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, Gavin's the weird one. Like, part of me like feels like this is okay, but part of me also doesn't. Um, and to be honest, a lot of people just feel too high. But like, that's just kind of how this has to play out, though. Um, like I think just number wise, like pretty much everyone here feels too high. Um, I think I'll leave it for now. Gavin moving up there, because I generally I think when we're looking at like Gavin versus Devin, I don't think there's that much of a difference. Like I think it's like, yeah, there's a difference, but like it's not enough to where like they could be like 30 people apart. Like that feels kind of ridiculous. Um, yeah, it's the thing. It's like everyone, like I feel like everyone here feels too high. Like I feel like instinctively none of these people feel like top 50 players. But I guess like they kind of have to be because like someone has to be. um, so uh, yeah, what are we doing here? So yeah, this is the grouping we're working on right now. Sophie B is kind of a weird one. Where I really like, I feel like Sophie B is just kind of like dangling here. Like I really don't know what the fuck I'm doing with Sophie B. Um, I guess like Sophie B is like better than Courtney Yates probably, right? But I guess like Courtney Yates has a second appearance where like, again, that was the big thing for Courtney Yates, that why I put her so high is because like, yeah, like Courtney, like on paper doesn't feel good, but like she's played twice and like made it really deep both times. Like here's the villains. It's kind of insane that she even gets anywhere close to her merge on that season. Um, it's like China. She like theoretically comes close to winning the game. Um, Sam above Austin. I think we might move Sam with Austin. Um, wow. Um, yeah, I feel like these people. Maybe they are just still in the same tier. Because yeah, I think at the end of the day, they probably are just in the same tier. It's just that like Stephanie's probably on the lower end of it, but like they're probably all in the same category. Rupert, I need to figure out what I'm doing with Rupert. Um, like pre Blood versus Water, like his resume is like pretty decent, even though it's like he's just not a particularly great player, like on paper. Um, that was a mailman. Is Rupert Ty? I think Ty's better, but like, yeah, maybe. Okay, I guess like let's just look up. I guess. Because like there was a point where I did have Rupert in this tier, right? And I moved him back down. Like there was a point where I had Rupert with like Ethan and or no with Colby and Kathy and them and like Ozzy. Yeah, I'm not counting Blood versus Water really. Um, I I don't know. I don't know. Like, yeah, it's like his resume wise, he is in this tier, right? Like, is his resume that? I mean, I guess it is different from like an Ozzy Colby. They at least made it to the end, but it's not like that radically different, right? Like, I think like the main difference between Rupert and like these other players is the fact that they're all finalists outside of Kathy. Like maybe Kathy and Rupert. Um, is Rupert better played than Lex though? I'm not sure. How much worse is he than Ozzy? Yeah, it's like that's the thing. It's like I don't know if he is that much worse. Um, I also feel like it's weird to have fair play. I don't know. Like fair play like does like outplay him on Pro Islands, but I guess you could argue that fair play gets like fortunate to be in that position to outplay him, considering the outcast of it all. Um, maybe I put Rupert with Kathy here. Maybe. Um, yeah, maybe something like this. Is Kathy for sure below these people? Maybe. like maybe do a new tier here. Like something like that. Russell and Jonathan together still is fine. Rupert of coach. Yeah, it's a little tough, right? Like coach has one better appearance. Like I think if you take out South Pacific, I think coach is definitely worse than Rupert, but South Pacific should probably move him up though. Rupert should be where Jenna and Amber are. I'm kind of thinking maybe just move Rupert to the coach level. Yeah, I think maybe just switch this stuff back to what it was, and then just move Rupert here. I think that's kind of what I'm thinking about right now. Why is Natalie White so high? She survived. Like, I think her strategy with Russell is very intentional. Um, she's very good socially. She somehow made it to the very end of Foa. She would have been at the like if they continue to go to tribal over and over and over again, she would have been there with Russell. It's like I think she's pretty decent. Yeah, I think this is well. I'll leave it at for now with those people. Still need to figure out these people. Courtney Yates, I think, is just one that is a bit tough. Maybe I move her down. Do I move her down to like this tier with like James Clement, Eric? I think I might do that. That she's kind of on the upper end of like the dark greens. Like probably not active enough of a player to be like in this kind of category, but like still can have like deepish runs. We'll talk about Joe later. Brad. Should Brad be here? It's tough because like I feel like Brad in Game Changers I think would be enough to be around here. But do I like how much do I factor blood versus water? Like Brad, like he's a pretty decent all around player. Like he's obviously good at challenges. Like he's able to like cultivate a group around him. I think early on in Game Changers playing pretty well, just all around. By the end, I think he was obviously like again, like I think like his end, like not really his end game. Mid merge is kind of a mess. I would say Sierra was playing better than him for most of that season, but like he does end up outlasting her, and by the end has like a pretty solid end game stretch with a theoretical win scenario by time Final Four. Like he definitely is worse socially than like a Dawn and a Austin, for sure. Um, maybe I just keep him here because I actually can see like, is there like Stephanie LaGrossa parallels? Um, I can kind of see that, especially in terms of how like the jury perceives them. Um, Brad's probably better like competitively, like in terms of challenges and that sort of thing. I think all around, maybe they are. Maybe they are in the same ballpark. I kind of want to move Jerry here too. I think maybe this is what I'm doing here. Jerry's kind of like in the between. I think she's probably like, she literally probably is just like the top of this at the bottom of this. So I think I'll just leave it like that for now. What am I doing, Sophie B? Like, part of me wants to move Sophie B up. I don't know. Sophie B's like faced off against a lot of adversity early on, overcomes all that. That's pretty impressive. Again, we'll deal with Ian later. It's like she had like, because like I think like player wise, I think I could definitely see her with Austin. I think they're different players is kind of an issue, but I think like caliber of player is like around the same, because I think like Austin's probably a more like, I think Austin's like someone that like had more actual control on that season, was probably a bit more active strategically on that season. But Sophie was the one that faced off against a lot more adversity and overcame that. Also had more of a killer instinct towards the end, was willing to cut Savannah. Austin was willing to cut D. So it's like they're kind of different pros and cons, but I can kind of see them like leveling out to around the same. So yeah, I think I'm kind of okay with that. And then what do I do with Camilla? Camilla kind of feels Jerry level to me. I think actually probably better than Jerry. Or at least I think plays a more like intentional game than Jerry, I guess. It's Mother's Day for Brad, sure. Yeah, I kind of feel like maybe it's something like this. Brad and Steph there, then Jerry, Camilla, then it's these four, and then it's these. Camilla's very adaptable. I mean, I feel like Jerry is too. I think Camilla's a lot more intentional with how she's playing the game than Jerry, where I feel like Jerry just goes where the wind blows, especially in Heroes of Villains. But then again, I think that like Camilla ultimately is like playing to be at the bottom. Mike Turner feels low. I don't, but we'll get to it now. Yeah, now it's this grouping. I think Sam is another one that I think I kind of want to move Sam up to the Sophie B. Austin level. But I don't know how much of that is based around potential, I think is like the issue with Sam. Where like, I think on paper, I have a lot of faith in Sam as a player. But I don't know how much that is based around what we see of him on the season. Where, yeah, like his game is very sloppy. Like his game is like him being in and out of the majority at points, him like really just trying a lot and just not being able to like get what he wants done most times in the end game stretch. But yeah, I think he's like playing optimally though, for whatever that's worth. Yeah, I think fuck it, I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna move him up. Actually, wait. Okay, I'm gonna move him up. I'm debating on how up I move him. Do I move him to Sophie B. Austin level? Do I move him to Camilla level? I think is my current debate. Yeah, I'll put him Sophie B level. Yeah, I'll put him Sophie B level. I think the fact that, yeah, he was able to play from top and bottom on that season, still was able to make it, like, even though I think he was lucky to make it to final two, was still at least able to make it to final four uh, on that season despite being on the bottom. Or like Camilla, it's like, I guess you could argue she was on the bottom, but it's not like really like the same thing. Where like Camilla was like kind of just a tag along for Kyle. Um, but yeah. But yeah, so that's fucking Sam. Now we got all these other people. Uh, Savage. Okay, I fucked this up too. Let's move that back. Okay, Savage. Like, I think Ian and Rafe are kind of tied. I think that's fine. Lauren is probably with them. Ricard is just a weird one. Mike Turner, I kind of feel like is Brad Culpepper level. Yeah, I think he actually might be better. But I do think like that kind of caliber is fine. Um, yeah, I think Hayden, Ian, Rafe is like some of the better like one-time non-winners, but still like kind of flawed in certain ways. I think that's kind of fine. Uh, Placement is like a debate because I could definitely see a world where they're higher. At least higher than like this grouping here. I kind of want to do it. Yeah, I kind of want to do it. I kind of want to move them higher there. And I think this is another one that I would debate, and I feel like I'm not going to put them above this grouping. Like I feel like Camilla kind of like I think if Camilla played only once, she's probably somewhere around here. So like I think the fact that she played twice and like has a fine second appearance is like a minor step up. Even though like I think on paper I would look at like Ian and Hayden as like more consistent players. But yeah, I think for now I settle on them being here. She did win the Mike White cameo. That is a thing. All right. Savage. Savage, like in a way, just feels like kind of like on a tier of his own. Like he's such a bizarre player because like he kind of gets screwed both times. Um, yeah, like he gets screwed both times, but like both times he has like good foundations to his game, but like he's still like a pretty faulty player. In fact, that he like isolates people. He is like not the most strategically minded player. It's like I don't know. He's just like a weird player, but um, yeah, he's just like somewhere around there. Uh, Lauren and Ricard are weird too. I actually feel like Lauren should just be here. Like I think Lauren's in the same caliber as a Rafe and a Ian. Ricard, I just don't fucking know what to do with Ricard. Like I put him here. Do I still stand by that? Like I do think Ricard is a fairly capable, like all around player. I think in terms of the social strategy aspects of the game, he's probably a step below these other ones that are in this tier. But like I think like or like at least most of them. Like but I think like competitive, like in terms of like challenges and that sort of thing, he's probably someone that's like a bit closer to like he has the ability to win out. That's something. We'll talk about Devins. I think Devins and Rick might be a little too low. But we'll get to that. Uh yeah, it's like I think I probably keep Ricard here. Like I think him being like right below someone like a Camilla is probably fine. I think Savage I keep below all these people. I think it's also probably fine. Dude, I keep on doing actually, dude. I keep on doing that. I did that last stream too, saying Devins and Rick. Yeah, Devins and Christian. I keep on doing that. That's very funny. But yeah, all right, whatever. Okay, this tier. These are all like we got Victoria, Allison, Lindsay, Cody, Maria, all like end game threats. That didn't really have a path to the very end, but played like competent enough games up to that point. I kind of feel like they're all hovering around here. I mean, like maybe. Let's see. Okay, Victoria, Allison. I think both their navigation, through the game was a bit sloppier than like a Lindsay, Cody, Maria. Where like Lindsay, Cody, Maria are probably closer to like a Lauren, Ashley, Beck. I'm trying to remember actually. Did I have Cody above Mike on my new era player ranking? I think I didn't I? Oh, I guess I don't have it on here. But my original one, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Mike's not even in the top 10. So, because like realistically, like yeah, it's like Cody should not be that far apart from like a Lauren Ashley Beck. If anything, like Cody actually probably came closer to winning the game than Lauren. I kind of feel like maybe this grouping should move up. Okay, I think a more appropriate way of doing this is. Because like these, like Lindsay, Cody, Maria, were all in like very good positions for most of the games, like most of their seasons up to that point. And then like the end game, they just didn't have the path to the like tail end, without like competitions or idols. So at Austin with what? What are we talking about? Oh, give up an idol we're talking about? I mean, I don't really think that's the definitive thing. But also, like, Austin had 2 idols. But yeah, like, I don't, for me, that's not like a definitive, like, it's bad strategically, but it's not like this, like, end all be all. But I do think I'm going to put them, like, okay, maybe, like, is this its own tier? Because I can kind of see this actually, them being kind of like the betas in like a dominant-ish duo. Or like Ricard is essentially them, but like actually flipped against Shan. They didn't. I kind of feel okay with that actually. I think like these 4 together, this being like kind of a tier above them, I think that feels fine to me. Victoria and Allison, I had them with them. I think the problem with them is that their navigation, like their navigation through the game, is not as solid as these other players. All these other players, like until they end up being on the bottom at the very end of their games, like were kind of in the dominant alliance. Where like Victoria was like kind of in and out of the majority a lot in post merge. Allison, kind of same thing. I do think Savage is someone that I kind of want to go lower on here than them. I feel like I do look at Victoria and Allison as better players than Savage. I think realistically, Savage probably should be closer to like this category of players. I don't think are actually that good, but they have like good resumes. Which again, we'll deal with Devins and I was about to say Devins and Rick again, but we'll deal with them in a second. But like, I think like this is kind of a like outside of them is like kind of a tier also. Okay, I mean, I guess let's just do Devins and Christian at this point. I feel like they're together. Where do I put them though? Because I do kind of feel like they are too low. Um, they're really like, in a way, they're kind of a better like they're kind of like Victoria and Allison, but like are now 2-time players. Like they have like aspects of their games that are like fairly dominant. I guess that's debatable. Christian does at least. Um, Rick maybe not as much, but like still like have deep runs twice. A decent amount of win equity, but just don't really have a path to the end. I kind of want to switch this. I think is like kind of what I'm leaning towards. Like I think like I think Devins and Christian feel like a Victoria and Allison have played twice. And like kind of had a similar result. So yeah, I think I'll leave it like this. I don't think I'm gonna move him. Like I think these are like a bit different because like these players still like I like in comparison to Christian like made it deeper. And like in general they made it deeper without needing immunity wins or anything like that. And then what was the other argument? Whatever, it doesn't fucking matter. You get the point. Then yeah, we're at this tier. So yeah, this is at this point this is kind of a tier of like players that aren't that good, but like have good resumes, make it deep. I okay, well, one, let's make more space here. Cool. Okay, well that was fantastic. What are you saying no about? If we're putting Genevieve that high just based off potential, Christian should be higher in the ranking. I think there's a difference there between Genevieve and Christian. Like Genevieve was able to make it the final 5, like deeper than Christian has ever been able to make it. Like that was also like it's not like she got there through like immunity wins or idols. Also, I think like her, like I think there's less criticisms with her 50. Like I think with 50, it's like I don't really have that much like negative to say about Genevieve's game on that season. Where like Christian, I can call out like major negatives on both his seasons. Like I think I have more like criticism strategically with Christian than I do with Genevieve, even though Genevieve still is like a bit of an issue. I mean, really, it's like I think it's more so like you can say I'm overrating Genevieve's 50 game because really it's like Genevieve's placement here is mostly based around her 50 game. Like without 50, she is okay. Fuck me, dude. Without 50, she is essentially at the spot that we're at right now. Like that is where she was before 50. Like she is this high because of 50. Like before 50, she is probably here Victoria and Allison. Yeah. So yeah, what do we got here? Big Tom. What? Actually, yeah. Well, what the fuck do I do with this? Okay. Keith, Joe, Savage. Part of me kind of just feels like this is okay as is, as like kind of a tier. It's like, Joe's kind of a fucking weird one. Savage isn't above Christian. Christian's here. Savage is here. Yeah, I think like Savage was like already above them anyway, and like I think the fact that Savage gets like kind of screwy outcomes to his games, like lands him above them, but like he ultimately is like kind of a similar style of player. Joe top 100. Oh, Joe Anglim. Let's see. No, maybe. No, on the edge. 103 is where we're at right now by the end of this tier. So I think it's like, is Keith Nail number 100? That feels a bit weird, actually. Oh. I don't know if Joe needs to go down. We'll see. I don't know. For now, I actually feel like this is kind of okay. Like, because, like, looking at who he's above here, I think it's mostly fine. Like, maybe I would argue, like, the Omer Flippin, like, Marianne, maybe, like, these people with Joe. But, like, I think the rest, like, I feel like Joe above Sierra Easton, I think that's fine. Joe above Brenda, I think that's fine. I don't know. I think Joe and Eric fit. Yeah, I think they're. Actually, I don't know. I think it's a different. Like, I mean, like maybe like it evens out to be around the same, but like I think they are kind of different players because like Joe. I mean, maybe Joe. Like I think Joe in Edge of Extinction is Eric coded. I think Joe his first two appearances though is probably better. I guess like Eric in Micronesia. Okay, maybe. I mean, I think Joe's actually better than Eric, maybe because like Joe, like I think Joe in Cambodia is probably better than Eric in both of his seasons. Um, wait, what? Bottom and wait, name the bottom left is creeping on. Fucking yeah, Eva. Um, he was also more racist. That is true. Um, Tom Beck. Yeah, that's what I said. I think maybe this grouping goes up. We'll see. I feel like this. Like, I think Big Tom, James, Eric, Joe, Keith Nail. Like, that feels like a tier to me. Yeah, I think this is fine. These five being together. Again, we'll argue where these people are in relation to it, but I think like these five players being together are all fine. What do I do with Courtney Yates? I think is something. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing there. Yeah, I generally don't know what I'm doing with her. I feel like she is above this group though. Or maybe she's like in the like. I think she's above James. I think is the main thing that's like sticking out to me. Like I think Courtney Yates is a better player than James Clement. Outside that, I could take it or leave it. Like Tom versus Courtney. It's like I don't know. Either way, Tom versus Joe, or if I wait, Courtney versus Joe, Courtney versus Keith Nail. It's like whatever. But like I feel like Courtney is definitely above James Clement. Do I kind of put her a savage maybe? Like obviously it's not a 1-for-1, but like just in terms of like where they are like on the list, like maybe I just keep her there. Keep these five together. Have Courtney like right above them. I think maybe I just I think that's what I do for now. Then we got this tier, which is just also kind of a mess. Okay. So like Jenna, Kimmy, Amy Cusick, those kind of feel together. Brenda and Sierra are probably together. Omer, Flippin, Marianne. So okay, I think Omer is someone that probably should be closer to the Victoria level, if not even maybe even higher. I don't know. I don't know his win equity, I think, is the issue. Like, I think in comparison to, like, these people, I think these people just win if they get to the end. Omer, I'm not 100% sure. Has a cleaner path to the end than Victoria and Allison, though I think, yeah, it's like, I think he probably should be closer to here. Flippin'. Yeah, it's like, in general, I feel like these people should be higher. Is there an argument of Kenzie and Courtney Yates being together? Emily Flippin's a weird player, isn't she? I think her, like, if we're just going on her first time, she's probably somewhat close to this, just like with the worry of like she was almost the first boot. Second time around, like really, it's like actually I think her second game. It's like I think she. Do I just put Emily here with like Devins and Christian? It's like a different, like it's different, but like I think she kind of equals out to be around there anyway. Because I think there's an argument that like both her games are like around the same caliber as this, which like that kind of just equals this. Now my thing is like, do I put Omer here as well? Because like my thing is that I think Omer plays a cleaner game than these people. My worry is win equity. But to me, I feel like his navigation is more important. So I kind of want to put Omer like with these people instead. Like move him up. Christian needs to be bumped above Rick. I think it's pretty marginal. Omer's threat management was bad. I don't know if threat management is necessarily. I mean, like maybe it is threat management. I think with Marianne, maybe. I think in general, like I think him losing Jonathan is probably the bigger issue. And Rick has almost won the game twice. Obviously, both in very messy ways, but like he is like almost won 2 seasons now. Came closer to winning than Christian did. Yeah, I'll move Omer back down there. That's whatever. Marianne. Dude, Marianne's such a fucking weird player. Did he almost win? I mean, if he got to the end, he wins. Again, like he was still like a few rounds away from that, but like still, he had a lot of win equity. I think he's someone that naturally has a lot of win equity. Higher than Keith? Yeah. I mean, yeah, I already said we're moving. Like, at bare minimum, she's here. I think the thing to credit Marianne for is I do think her game is intentional. For whatever that's worth. I do think she is still, like, a very... Is sloppy the right term? Because, like, I don't think it's intentionally sloppy. Does Rick beat Chris? Yes. Rick beats everybody on that entire cast. Yeah, it's like she's not in a particularly good position. But, like, it's not because she's playing poorly that... Like, it's not like... Yeah, it's not like she's making, like, bad decisions necessarily. It's just that she's not really good enough socially. I don't know. It's like... The thing is, like, in general, I do not have faith in Marianne. On on any given appearance. But like based on what we saw in Survivor, like she is playing a pretty optimal game for a lot of her season. It's just that she's not in a particularly good social standing. I'm debating between here or here. Part of me wants to put her as like right below Flippin. I don't know. I feel like Allison has to be above her. I don't know if she has to be, but like I think I will set on that. I think like her and like I think the fact that she considered keeping around Lindsay and that sort of stuff kind of makes me want to put her lower. So yeah, I'll put Mary in there. And then Kenzie, I think I'll put Kenzie here. I think Kenzie, and like really Kenzie's like just close-ish to Marianne. Like I think you could argue like Kenzie's probably better. Like I think Kenzie's the type of player that like probably makes it deep most times she plays. I think Marianne struggles at the beginning of the game to where like I think she's just better probably. I think their winning games are kind of similar though. But like genuinely, Kenzie probably does make it deeper more time more of the times that she plays. Yeah, I think I'll put her there. At least. Okay, I think this is the tough thing with Kenzie is that her game is not good. But like part of me does want to put her higher as a player though. I think it's like the tough thing here. We're like her game's not that good. Like her game, like especially in the end game stretch, I really like a lot of the post merge game. I don't think it's like particularly good. But like she does overcome a pretty decent deficit early on. I do think like even though I think her social game's overblown in the edit, I think she is still like a very affable presence. People do like her for the most part. People respect her. Um, I don't know how high to even go on her though. Is kind of the issue. Like even if I want to put her higher, where do I even go? Because I feel like this is too high. Um, because like I think even the comparison between her and Sophie B, like yeah, Kenzie won, Sophie B didn't, but I feel like Sophie B was playing more optimally for more of her game than Kenzie was. Um, so like I feel like yeah, I feel like no matter what, I would have her below Sophie B. I kind of feel like at best I would move her up here. So like I think maybe like right below Camilla. Yeah, I think that's like the best I would do. But yeah, it's like I kind of feel like based on just wait, what the fuck? There we go. Yeah, it's like I think the comparison between her and Maria, it's like I would lean Maria higher. So yeah, I think I will just end up landing her here. Um all right, and where are we at now? How long are we gonna go? Do we just go until like I don't know, until I'm just like too fucking tired to even think about it? Um We'll probably go until like 3:30 ish. I think like generally this is probably what streams are going to be until this is done. At this point, I think I am probably just gonna forgo playing games and stuff on stream until this is done. And yeah, it'll probably be like we'll talk for first like half hour to an hour, and then after that, it's just player ranking until it's done. Yeah, we're still trying to figure out this grouping. Is where we're at. Well, Camilla's in a terrible spot. Lauren Beck isn't that different from Camilla we're talking about. I would agree on first appearance. Like on first appearance, I would have Lauren definitely way higher than Camilla. Like I had Camilla probably closer to where. Like on first appearance, I had Camilla, I think around here, maybe here. Second appearance is like, it's not great by the end, but like I think the fact that she wasn't just targeted right away is kind of insane to me. The fact that just like no one seemed to be targeting Camilla. And then even on the swap tribe, it's like she's still kind of in the center of things. I think Courtney's above Savage. Like, if anything, actually, I think you could put Courtney here, even. Like, I think probably, like, one spot below Marianne. I think it's kind of okay. Wow. Actually, I want to see something. How many players have we gone through so far? Dude, we're only, like, a seventh of the way through. Fuck me, dude. Does Courtney make top 100? Let's see. No, she doesn't, right? I think she might be 101. It's like Savage and Courtney are 101, 102. So, yeah. Courtney's probably 101. So Emily Flippin's top 100 player. No, Christian is a top 100 player. He's in this. Yeah, so that means everyone above Courtney Yates is a top 100 player. Tony's too high, I agree. Where's Dan Foley? We're not anywhere close to Dan Foley yet. All right, so Jenna Lewis isn't a top 100 player? Oh, no. Okay. What are we doing with these people? We got Jenna Lewis, Kimmy Kappenberg, Amy Cusick. I still feel okay tying them together. Penner is like, he's a bit of a weird one. In a way, I can kind of see Penner being in this grouping. Because, like, Penner's someone that, like, despite him being someone that, like, is kind of a faulty player, he's never been booted early. Like, he made it to 7th place twice, had a lot of win equity in fuck's that season? In Philippines. If you can't tell, I'm starting to get tired. But anyway, had a lot of win equity in Philippines. Micronesia, like, his game ends early. Again, I don't know if he had that much, like that much of a deep run there anyway, but yeah, his final round is pretty awful. That is fair. But like, I think he's like, is he that different from a Savage though? Like, I think caliber player, they're around the same. I don't think like yeah, I mean, I guess it's like with Penner, it's like he faced off against a lot of adversity on that season. It's like he came into the season with like such a massive target on his back. So it's like, yeah, he doesn't really play that well, but like he was never poised to do that well on that season. I feel like Corinne's better than him. Maybe. We'll see. Yao, I think is weird. Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, actually, Brenda Lowe Amy was something I was talking about a lot, wasn't it? When we were putting this together initially. Savage is more grounded. I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know. I could see Corinne and Courtney kind of being together, maybe. Let's see. We got Sierra here. Are there Sierra Courtney Yates comparisons? No, right? I think they're like kind of polar opposites, actually, right? I mean, I'm kind of considering moving all these people higher than this tier. Like I am currently I'm kind of considering moving this tier lower. I don't know what to do with Savage in that case, but like I kind of feel content with that. Like I actually don't. I guess Sierra is like a weird one because she is kind of a sloppy player. But still, I do feel like the problem with these players that pretty much all 5 of them really are like very passive players. They're like very passive players, but players that are just gonna make it deep more times than not. If anything, actually, genuinely, the most active player of this bunch might be Joe Anglim in his like first 2 appearances. Literally everyone else here, very passive player. Like Eric's a very passive player. James Clement's a very passive player. Keith Nail's a very passive player. Tom is like maybe a bit more active, but like doesn't actually do anything though. Like he more so like tells people that, hey, you should take out Lex, but doesn't actually do anything himself. Which is bad, by the way. I kind of want to do this. I do want to move him lower. Like, I think them being, like, right above this, like, Skupin Jervis sort of tier feels better to me. Okay, who were we talking about? Oh, Camilla. Where's Camilla on this again? She's, like... Yeah, I think we could maybe argue this. That maybe some of these people should be closer to a Camilla level. Wait, let's move these people a little bit higher. Just so we can see them. So Camilla's there. I kind of feel like I feel okay with this. Generally, I do feel okay saying Savage is around the same caliber of a player as Penner. Like, yeah, you could definitely make qualms with like yeah, it's not 1 for 1, but I think they're around the same. Like, I don't think it's that big of a difference between the two. I do think they're probably below Courtney. What do I do with Yao Man? I think is a bit of a dilemma. In a way. Okay, I don't know. Yao Man's one that, like, on paper, you think he's not consistent. And obviously, he doesn't have a great Micronesia run that makes him feel even less consistent. But, like, Micronesia, you can argue he was, like, screwed by pregame in multiple facets. First, in the fact that, like, Fair Play, one of his pregame alliances, quits, like, day 1 or whatever, like, first round. And then also the fact that, like, Suri had, like, a massive, like, I don't know, like, was just targeting from the beginning because of pregame. I mean, I think he's different than Tom, though. Like, he's a very active player. Like, if anything, maybe just keep him here. Like, keep him with, like, maybe Sierra Easton. Yeah, it's like, I think in general, people are probably too hard on Yao Man for Micronesia. And, like, his Fiji game's fine. Like, especially considering, like, he survived so long on that season. Like goes to a lot of early tribals, is never in danger. makes it all the way to Final Four with a decent amount of win equity. The only person he doesn't beat is Earl. Like, probably on that entire season, the only person he doesn't beat is Earl. Um, um, I don't know where to put him though. Like I'm still debating where to put him. Like he's like, part of me is like, is he that different from like? Okay, fuck me. Is he that different from like these people, like a Victoria, Allison, Omer? Like, especially if we're just taking like, even if we're like saying his Micronesia game is just nothing. Like, even if we're just like taking out his Micronesia game, it's like I don't even think like I don't think he does anything that bad in his Micronesia game. He's just like taken out due to pregame notions. If we're just talking about Fiji, his Fiji game's at least here, right? Like his Fiji game's on the same caliber as a Victoria and an Allison and like those sort of people. So like really, it's like, should Yao-Man maybe be here-ish? Like maybe in between these tiers? I kind of feel like he's maybe like in this ballpark. Like maybe like below a Rick and a Christian who probably like obviously did make it deeper as we did see on their second appearances, but like still in like a similar ballpark as them. Like yeah, I kind of feel like him being around there is kind of fine to me. Did everyone say they made it? Yeah, the yeah, sorry about the car deal is that supposedly it was a like the group as a whole said that they were always going to give the car to Dreams because he didn't have a car and needed a car. But then Yao-Man decided to like take advantage of that by like was it making a I don't know, like trying to add more to it or whatever. I think below Victoria and Allison, but above Omer and Marianne. I think above all of them. I mean, like he's actually, I guess like final six, he does need his idol there. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's fine. I think he's in this tier. We'll probably now when we piece together, we'll argue it a bit more. But yeah, maybe he should be closer to this tier than this tier. What am I doing with Courtney Yates at this point? Do I just leave her there again? I don't know. Like she's just like she's probably above. Like she's probably like right there, right? She's above these two. I guess for now we'll put her in a tier of her own. Why not? Then Corinne is someone that again like it's tough because like on paper I don't look at Corinne highly, but like when you actually analyze like her gameplay, it's not bad, right? Like looking at her first appearance, it's like she was in the Onion Alliance. I guess like to fair, she was not like at the top of that power structure, and even if she got to the end, the power structure that she wanted to get to the end with, it's not like she wins that season. And I think that's probably an issue with Corinne. Is I think it's tough to see Corinne winning a season of Survivor based around how she wants to play the game. I think there's spots where she could luck her way into a win, but I think the fact that she actively wants to play like these bigger threats in like a Malcolm, a Marcus, and like wants to go to the end of them is an issue. But it's like she like yeah, it's like I think the fact that she's able to like get in with those groups and those people are actually loyal to her is pretty good. I think during Karamoan, she was playing optimally by the end game, at least. Or by the end of her game, I should clarify. The end of her game, I think she was playing well, or like playing to her best interest of flipping against the favorites and picking up the fans. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking maybe Courtney level. I think it's. I think I would be willing to put her higher if she was playing for her own game, yeah, I don't feel like she is. Or like I think like the Camilla comparison would be fair if Corinne was trying to win the game. And was like playing to get to an end game position where she does win, but she's not. And I feel like because that, it does feel more Courtney level. And I actually feel like I am gonna put her above Courtney because of how active she is. Because like I feel like with Courtney, the issue is that like Courtney doesn't really try, and that's always been kind of the issue with Courtney. Difference between her and Steph, I mean, Steph at least actually made it to the end one time. Like played, and like I think like Palau like made it to the end of her tribe on Oolong. It's like I think Steph's better. Where are we at now? Oh, I think this just like completely bumps. Yeah, so now they're 102, 103. So Courtney's now 103. Oh no, she's not 101 anymore. That's a travesty. What am I doing with these people? Yeah, Sarah Easton's a weird one. Like, in a way, like, is Sierra... Okay, Sierra Easton versus... Okay, Corinne... Like, part of me just wants to move most of these people up to the Corinne... Okay, cool. To the Corinne Courtney kind of level. Sierra's more likely to be an early boot. Yeah, that's fair. Is Brenda here, though? Like, is Brenda that different from a Courtney Yates? I guess, like, Courtney actually got to the end, had a group of allies that took her to the end. Brenda didn't. I kind of feel like Sierra and Jenna feel together. Like, both have, like, early boot potential, but both, like, fairly aggressive players. If anything, like, I guess Sierra's probably better than Jenna. In the sense that I think Sierra has more respect from a jury than Jenna does. Yeah, I think Amy. Like, I think I move Amy probably up here too, right? Like, I think Amy is with like Brenda and Courtney Yates and Corinne. Like, this is probably a tier. Jenna and Sierra probably here due to inconsistency. Kimmy is one that I'm not really sure what to do with. Amy closer to Steph. Again, Steph still made it to the end. Was in a like pretty big swing position for a lot of that season. I don't know. I think like to me, I feel like Amy's still like. I think at maybe like Amy should be closer to like here, like the Victoria Allison. I mean, I guess in a way, like, there's an argument Amy is actually closer to like this tier, right? To like the Lauren, Lindsay sort of people. Fuck. Part of me actually thinks that maybe this isn't that bad of a comparison. I think Amy is better than Leanne, though. Leanne had better, like, jury well, I shouldn't even say that necessarily, but, like, I think Leanne was more palatable to a jury. Uh, but I think Amy was the one that was more actively doing things in the game. And then, yeah, I think, like, Amy's final round's pretty good. It's a Franny clip. Does she have win equity? Who are we talking about? Amy? Tough to say. Depends on who exactly she's up against. Like her versus Twyla probably wins. Her versus Scout. I'm missing one jury vote in my head. Her versus Scout. Oh wait, Twyla's the other one. I think it's, yeah, it's not. She doesn't have the greatest jury prospects. Actually, generally, her versus Julie might be one of her better case scenarios, actually. Weirdly thinking about it. Because I think, like, on instinct that doesn't feel right, but actually now thinking about it, I think that probably is the case. Considering the men were anti-Julie for flipping on them. And then, like, Amy probably has a better chance of pulling over, like, Scout and Twyla. Would have Leanne. But yeah. Again, I think Amy's Micronesia game's not bad. Like, again, I think her in Micronesia, she's, like, playing optimally for most of that season. It's just that things don't really work out for her. Like, she's kind of a mess during her boot round, but, like, I don't know. It's like, I think, like, her versus, like, I think her and Jerry are not that far apart. Like, I think they're on a similar level. Her and Jerry. I think the big thing that's sticking out to me, though, is win equity. So, like, that is part of me that's, like, wanting to move her down a little bit to, like, here. Because, like, Jerry, it's like, I don't think, like, obviously Jerry didn't have the greatest win equity on most of her seasons, but, like, here's villains. Like, even though she's not playing optimally to get to her winning scenario, she does win against, like, again, like, if she gets to the end without Sandra, fuck it. Yeah, I'll move it back. I feel okay about Amy being there, actually. Like, she's a flawed player, but really all these people are. I think her Micronesia game's not that bad, and, you know, whatever. Again, Jen and Sierra are fine. I need to figure out what I'm doing. Kimmy and Chrissy, I think, is kind of the issue at this point. Like, Kimmy, do I just put her here? It's like, she's different than Jenna and Sierra, but she's, like, in a similar ballpark of, like, has a lot of, like, I don't know, gets on some people's nerves, especially, like, in her first season. Has a lot of early boot potential, but also could play a competent enough game towards the end, but still, like, just kind of an inconsistent player in my mind. Does it make Brenda go up? I don't fucking know. I think for me right now, I am looking at Amy and Brenda as different. Because I think the difference for me is that, like, so, like, I compared them before in this way that, like, Amy's first appearance, like, I think Amy and Brenda's first appearances are similar, and their second appearances are similar in terms of how they approach the game. But I think the results were different. But I think the fact that Amy's more aggressive game got her near the end game and Brenda's didn't makes me want to put Amy higher, because like the time that she was actually playing like more actively was what led to her having more success, where Brenda, more of her success came from her not playing actively. I think like Brenda and Amy, like their first appearances are both fairly similar, like playing like pretty aggressive games from like out in front of their alliances. Um if anything, it's actually like kind of different, the downfall of their games, because like Amy, I guess really you could argue actually yeah, because like Amy's downfall comes from being a bit too like laying her guard down a bit too much towards the end. Brenda's is like kind of the opposite. She actually like does too much at the end. He's like, she decides to target Sash for like no fucking reason. Which like to figure that's worse. Yeah, I think Brenda. If anything, actually, this is kind of making me want to maybe move Brenda here, but I feel like Brenda with Corinne is still kind of fine. Because like I think with Jenna, Kimmy, Sierra, we have seen like the like early boot of it all play out. We haven't really seen that with Brenda, and I feel like Brenda's the type of player that like probably just isn't an early boot most times she plays. So like I think that's like a minor step up. Um but maybe it is a spot where like she's in this tier, but she's just like at the top of it, maybe. Um yeah, it's like I don't think you really say anything about her like Amy's win equity her second season. But yeah, it's just a spot where like she didn't make it far enough anyway. But yeah, I think it's a spot where like I actually think she does less wrong her second time around than Brenda does. Um, I think okay, this is probably the thing that determines it. Brenda versus Penner. Who do I actually think is better? And I generally don't know. I think I'll lean Brenda. Yeah, I think I'll lean Brenda. I think it's kind of close, but I think I will lean Brenda. And what am I doing with Chrissy? Part of me wants to put her here, like as like a very like as a potential first boot. Like we obviously saw her almost be a first boot on 50. Um, like she definitely has a lot of early boot potential, and I do think she struggles to win a game of Survivor. She probably has more strong. Actually, maybe not. Yeah, this is probably fair. Actually, I think this, like, maybe you could debate her and like Brenda. Maybe like there's some comparisons there, but I actually feel like her being kind of Jenna Lewis. Actually, what did that? Where did I put her on? Which I haven't even recorded this yet, but like, where did I put her on this list? I had Jenna above her. So yeah, I guess Chris is just there then. Kind of forgot about that. Where's Heidi? She's still like a little bit, right? Yeah, she's still down there. Again, like Heidi, we'll figure out what we're doing with Heidi. I don't know. Again, it's tough because like on paper, like Heidi should not be that far away from Jenna, but also it also does make sense that she is. It's like I don't know what the fuck we're doing. Yeah, it's like we're still in the light blues. Okay, I think we're good with this for now. So move these up. I think I'm okay with these people being next. I think. Wait, what's the next tier again? Okay, cool. Rodney Carolyn. We'll probably argue some of these people, but I'll move these people up for now. This is a train wreck of a tier, by the way. What the fuck is it? Like, why the fuck is Drew Basile in the same tier as Jervis and Kelly? Actually, I guess to be fair, Drew did compare himself to Jervis, didn't he? I actually kind of find that funny. Actually, not even Jervis. Gervais. He did compare himself to Gervais. My favorite Survivor player, Gervais. Xiaoyin. Yeah. What was I doing? There was one more thing I was gonna do before I moved on. I forgot what now. Oh, I want to see. Yeah, I want to see how many people are we through now? 116. Dude, this is never ending. What is that? Dude, we're only 15%. Generally, though, this should get easier towards the end, especially. I think actually, generally, the hardest part's probably going to be this middle stretch. But, like, the end should be fairly... Like, I feel like a lot of this is kind of okay already. We'll see, but... I don't know. And actually, by the time we get to the end, we'll probably just put together the list anyway by that point. But, yeah, whatever. Because the intention was to move here up anyway. So, like, once we get towards the end, we'll, yeah, work things out anyway. Whatever. Where are we at? We're at this tier of people. Actually looking at this, is there an argument these people are lower? Okay, wait, no, wait, okay. This is actually kind of a tough one. Like, Scoopin, Jervis, Kelly. Which aren't even a 1-for-1, actually. Like, that's actually even I think Scoopin and Jervis together makes sense. Kelly is kind of a weird one. Yeah, like, Kelly should probably be closer to the Wiggle, or fuck me, Wiggles, closer to the Candace, level there. But still, Jervis and Scoopin. Like, comparing Jervis and Scoopin to these people. Jervis and Scoopin at least got to the end. Obviously, win equity was not great. But they got to the end, had another appearance that was also kind of decent. Like, in a way, I kind of want to put him here. Again, win equity's near 0, though, for them, which is an issue. And I guess, like, to be fair to, like, Jervis, should Jervis be above Scoopin? I understand why I changed it. Like, okay, so, like, the reason I had Scoopin above Jervis, Scoopin was more active in his endgame stretch. I think Scoopin was, yeah, I think these people might move up. Which is what I was talking about. Like, I think there'll probably be some debate. Where yeah, I think, like, some of these people definitely have the argument to move up. But, yeah, Scoopin, I think, like, was definitely a lot more active, though was just so, like, it was like he was in a power goat position, right? And to be fair, I think that was also part of the calculus of this, is that I think he is essentially like a power goat, but like one that played twice. And like his first time around, it's like he had like an okay game set up. Jervis probably wins a Katie, Monica, him final 3. Maybe, I don't know. I think okay, and like, to give credit to Jervis, from what I understand, Jervis was intending on cutting Tyson. He just never had the opportunity. At least based on what I've heard from Jervis post show, it's like Jervis intended on cutting Tyson at 4, but he just, like, obviously Tyson just won immunity, and even then it's like, is he really going to go TM Tina also? So, like, that's kind of unfortunate. Yeah, it's like, so, like, there is that killer instinct from Jervis. I think the problem is that his win equity is still very low. Because, like, even in the world where he cuts Tyson, he still doesn't win. like where Sophie B at least like probably wins. If like especially if it's like her Rizzo, Sage, or whatever. Like Sophie had a decent amount of win equity. Jervis doesn't really have that win equity, and I think that's still the issue. Um, but it probably is something to like give him like maybe a step above, but I don't know because like Scoopin also is willing to cut like Malcolm. Like Scoopin by the end, even though Scoopin's so fucking delusional, he still was at least willing to cut the bigger threat by the end. So where does that leave me? Like I generally don't know. Yeah, it's like Jervis is like bad enough socially where like he's pissing off Hayden on his way out. He's like making a fool of like Aris and Vetus, and I don't know. It's like he definitely is like harming his own jury prospects by the end. Yeah, he did cut Abby, which is bad. Wait. Why is Kimmy? What happened here? Kimmy's meant to be there, right? They just not move it? Okay, let's just double check. Make sure everyone's still here. Everyone's still here. Okay. I think part of me is feeling this. I don't know. Okay, actually, now I think about that. Big Tom. So, like, the comparison between them and Big Tom. Big Tom had more win equity. Made it deep twice. Couldn't make it to the tail end. Yeah. I guess they just leave. Yeah, maybe I just leave them here. Or if anything, maybe like move them in this tier. Which credit do I give to Abby for throwing coconut at Scoopin's head? All the credit in the world. Before Scoopin became problematic, I want to see him play again. No, I was good after Philippines. Leading into Philippines, maybe, yeah. Like I wouldn't have been opposed to it. Too bad I didn't start like becoming a fan of the show again until Philippines started airing, but I feel like I would have been excited to see a Michael Scoopin return at the time. Okay. I'm kind of feeling this right now. I'm kind of feeling Keith Nail and Big Tom, then Scoopin and Jervis, then James, Eric, and Joe is kind of what I'm feeling at this moment. I think Big Tom and Keith Nail as like people that'll make it deep, have win equity, but like just aren't particularly good players. Like in a bit of a different way. Like Tom's at least like strategically minded. Like Keith isn't really. But then like Jervis and Scoopin as like two pretty big goats, but at least like had a semblance of a killer instinct. We're playing like somewhat. Actually, can I say that was Scoopin? It's like they're strong suits, but like ultimately we're goats. Yeah, but Joe doesn't come anywhere close to the end though. Like Keith got to Final Four, got to Final Five. Big Tom, literally same thing. Like Joe, his best placement is what, 8th? And it's like the problem is that I don't think Joe will ever get past that unless he just wins out. I tried to add Australia. Well, that was well worth it, obviously. By the way, I think we're probably gonna end here with this grouping. I think I feel fine with this. I find that structure there. Now it's what do I do with these people? Sash and Chase, I think, are probably in a similar category. Okay, is there a world? Okay, I kind of feel like Actually, okay. Are all of these people here? Or like above? Like that's kind of what I'm debating right now. I think the tough thing is just that like Big Tom and Keith are just going to make it to the end almost every time they play. But like they're also just not particularly good players. Yeah, maybe there should be a breakup in this tier. But I feel like Chase and Sash, I kind of feel okay moving them up here above Big Tom and Keith. Carolyn is like a little bit wonky. I mean, she is a totally hot gilf, so I mean that probably boosts her up to here. But I mean, like outside that, it's a bit tough. Okay, but generally, I don't know. Like I think this is like so. Because like to me, it's like I feel like. Okay, well, that's not what I meant to do at all, but whatever. I kind of feel like this grouping is for the most part together. Like maybe we could debate like some of these people, but like I think like Chase and Sash, Carolyn, Rodney, Sydney, maybe that 5 is like kind of a grouping of like fairly active endgame players that like struggled when equity wise, but like played competent enough games. I guess with Sydney, maybe Sydney and Carolyn. Okay, wait. Okay, wait. Is Rodney higher than Carolyn? I actually kind of feel like Rodney is here with Chase and Sash. And the fact that Rodney, like Chase and Sash, was playing a kind of dominant game. Like he was like they were kind of in the alliance that should have gotten to the end, got upset by competition wins. Um was like towards the top of his pecking order. I think with Carolyn, like I think Carolyn and Sydney are kind of together in the sense that they were in the majority group, but were towards the bottom of it the entire time. And just never really positioned themselves well to make it to the end in a winning position. Like Carolyn was just always at the bottom of her alliance. And like needed like Mike telling her to play her idol and like all this stuff, like to save herself. Even then couldn't really win. Or like she could win, but like it's okay. Man, I don't know. Like she could win. Like if she got like if Mike didn't win final immunity, does Carolyn win? Maybe, probably. It's close. Um, Rodney, it's a weird one with Rodney. Where like I don't like. I think people liked. How do you even describe it? Like people found him funny, but I don't think people respected him. And it's not even like people necessarily like liked him. But I don't know. It's like win equity wise, it's definitely very tough. It's like they didn't like Carolyn either, but I do think the no callers lean Carolyn still. He did hold women to a higher standard. Thank God. That's what society needs. Clearly. Okay, I kind of want to move Carolyn here. I think I feel fine with Rodney, Sash, and Chase being together. I think Carolyn, maybe I move her up here. Maybe she's like around the Chrissy level. And then Sydney, I am still a little bit unsure. I still think the fact that Sydney, like, can she win a final 3? I'm not sure. I think it's like tough to really gauge. Like Carolyn, I think I would give her the edge in a Rodney Will final three. So at least there's that. Sydney, I'm not sure if I can really give her the edge in a specific final three. And she was playing at the bottom of her group. Like she was pretty much always meant to be cut at 4. Kind of gets helped by the Joe medevac and the fact that she got a chance of getting to 3, but even then she can't really win. Yeah, it's like she probably would have been better off win equity wise just to go to the end of Scott and Jason. I think I'm gonna put her here. Actually, no. It's a bit of a tough one. I think putting her with Ryan and Hannah feels fine. Like all struggled win equity wise, but like not like completely dead, I guess. I don't know. I guess like Hannah maybe could argue was completely dead. Is there a final 3 Hannah can win? I don't think so, right? Like Ryan and Sydney, they both have like shots at a final 3. Like it's a long road. Like it's like not. I don't know, it's tough to see them actually winning for sure, but like they at least had a shot. Like Ryan definitely gets votes in the Devin Christie final 3. Sydney definitely gets votes in an Aubrey Joe or even like, maybe just Aubrey Joe. But like Hannah, it's like, yeah, I don't even think Hannah. I think Hannah can win a final 2 against Ken. But yeah, it's like I don't think Hannah can win a final 3. Like I think you have to go back to what, like Taylor, like Taylor, Hannah, Ken. Maybe she can win. See, I think the fact that she was just like so like she had like pretty much no respect. Might drop her a bit here. But then again, I guess like Hannah versus Eva. Is like that's kind of the same thing, right? Like is that big of a difference? If she was a man, she'd be next to Adam. I don't know. Yeah, it's like I think Eva's probably better, but like it's close. Like I think Eva is more solidly like with Joe. Like I don't think Hannah had like a ride or die like ally like Joe. The Eva at least got like a few jury votes in the situation she got to. If Hannah Rose is a man, she'd be above Tony. I mean, clearly, that's what I always argue. Yeah, what do I do to these people? What do I do with Xiaoheen? Part of me wants to move Xiaoheen up to around here also. Because like, is Xiaoheen that different from like an Omer? It's like I guess like Omer was more out in front, and like was like puppeteering more, I guess. But like position wise, like endgame position wise, it's not that different. Like maybe Xiaoheen's like closer to like, or maybe he's just a tier of his own. I don't know. Xiaoheen's a weird one. He's above Omer. I don't know if he's above Omer. I think Omer's first 2/3 is stronger than Xiaoheen's first 2/3. I think Xiaoheen's boot round is worse than Xiaoheen's boot round. Well, I actually feel like I am gonna move him there. I think they're in the same ballpark, Omer and Xiaoheen. You could even argue Xiaoheen has more clear win equity because like he was at least intending to go to the final three with his best case scenario. Again, still the issue is that he lost that final three scenario, but like he was at least intending to go to that scenario. Omer was like, what? Omer was trying to get to the end of Lindsay, who he loses to, so like that's kind of bad too. So like I don't know, maybe there is an argument Xiaoheen's better. Top 100 now. What if Xiaoheen's here? We're at 106. So these three aren't for sure. And then it's whoever is in the bottom three of this 6. So that's, I don't even know who that is actually. Who would I even rank at the bottom 3 of this 6? But yeah, Xiaoheen would probably be top 100. Because I think Xiaoheen's above Omer in this world. I'm not sure what to do with Yao Man. Maybe below. Because Yao Man was trying to get the end of... Yeah, which, I mean, that would already put him top 100. But yeah, Yao Man was trying to get the end of Earl. That's pretty bad. Whatever. Drew and Julie Alley is also a thing we have to probably argue. Because Drew probably should also be higher. Like, Drew should also probably be in this category. With, like, Xiaoheen and Omer. Like, generally, like, yeah, he just is Omer, I feel like. Like, I think he essentially just is Omer on this ranking. Which, like, I think I feel fine with moving him above Marianne. Where's Larry Bird? Yeah, I feel like Julie also moves up. I don't know how far up. I think the issue with Julie is still, like... I guess first she had D wanting to take her to the end. But, like, outside that, like, almost no one actually wanted to take her to the end. Win equity, like, she had a decent amount of win equity, but I'm still not sure if she beats D. Drew's bad socially. I don't know if I'd say he was bad socially. He definitely was not as good as his other allies, but I wouldn't say he was bad socially. I feel like she's on the similar level to these players, though, right? Like, I would say Julie's still in the same categories like an Allison and a Victoria. Like, still had a tough endgame path, but had a lot of win equity. Maybe had, like, some rocky, like, navigation at points, but... Yeah, I kind of feel like she, like, I'm actually going to move her here because I actually feel more solid that she's probably, like, here in comparison to these players than where she is here. But, yeah, I kind of feel like she's just there. And what do I do with these people? Then we can fucking end for tonight. So Sydney and Ryan, I think, are back-to-back. Actually, there's an argument which one's better between the two, but I think I will settle on Sydney higher. Yeah, I'm not sure where to land them, though. Like, maybe I do just put him here. Like, it's kind of a spot where... Actually, I don't know, because I guess it is different. I was going to say, like, because, like, I feel like Sash, Chase, Rodney were all people that, like, had a fairly optimal final 3 planned, but just couldn't get there because of competition wins. Ryan is kind of that. Sydney, not really, right? Like, Sydney... He's like, Ryan's, like, optimal final 3 probably is the one that he was trying to get to the end with. It's just that, like, obviously Ben stuff, like, upset it. And even then, it's like, who does he actually win that? Not sure, but I guess that's kind of the case with these people. Sydney, though, Sydney wasn't even trying that, right? Like, Sydney was like trying to go to an endgame situation that, like, with people that wouldn't even take her to the end. So I think that's an issue. So maybe I do have Sydney lower. Maybe I do have Ryan here. Maybe Sydney's just with Hannah Shapiro. Yeah, it's like without the Joe Medevac, like Sydney's just gone. I kind of feel like maybe it's the this is looking very sexist right now, by the way, but like, yeah, it's all the men at the top, all the women at the bottom. Yeah, I do feel like this is the case, though. I guess the question at this point is like, are they actually above these people? Which I'm not sure. I'm kind of see it go both ways. I think the main debate for me would be this like Scoopin Jervis grouping. Team bottom. Because like would maybe just Sydney's just lower actually. Is Sydney just in this tier? Maybe that's also kind of a thing. I kind of feel like Sydney might even not even be in this tier. Only Eva was on 50s of trying to be a doctor. I agree. How dare she try to be a doctor? But yeah, the fact that Sydney was even trying, like, she was just like riding on the bomb for Alliance, I think is pretty bad. So like, I kind of want to put her like kind of cast level because of that. Even though it's not even necessarily the same thing as cast, but like I kind of see like Sydney cast parallels to a degree. And then yeah, I still think Hannah and Eva are kind of similar. It's just a matter of like where are they? What if I put them just in between this? Would that be okay? Because part of me is like, I don't know how much better they are than Scoopin and Jervis, if better at all. But maybe I put him here. No, this is not Mr. Beast contestants. It's Survivor. We're ranking the contestants off of attractiveness, clearly. Tony's the hottest contestant of all time. Yeah, I think I'm gonna put him here. I want to put like because I think Eva is a better player than James Clement in my mind. And I guess like James Clement's played 3 times, and I guess same thing with like Eric. Actually, I guess like Eva versus Eric, is Eric even like I guess like there's an argument Eric's better than Eva. Oh, Baylor that low? I mean, we haven't even talked about fucking Baylor yet. We'll get to that next stream. Again, anything that's below what we're talking about so far is very much in flux to potentially move up. I don't know if. Oh, I did. Oh yeah, I guess fuck because we're not on the right screen. I think it's too late now. Oh well. Again, that's the problem. That's the problem not having chat on screen. I don't have alerts set up. It's a travesty. I can't get Rocky. Oh, dude, I fucking have this too. God damn it. Am I doing this still? Did I just save this for next stream? It's fucking 3:43 in the morning, so I think I'm probably saving this for next stream. Assassin's Creed, I think? They don't know it's Assassin's Creed? Either way, yeah. What am I doing here again? Who are the last people? Hannah Shapiro and Eva. Fuck, I think I kind of had to leave him here then. Yeah, it's like I think it's I think Eric probably is better than Eva in the grand scheme of things. Whoever made that's a fucking crazy psychopath. I probably agree. I think Eva's MAGA. I don't believe so, right? Didn't she do a thing that's like that was oh, she's like anti RFK, right? RFK, is that his name? The fucking Kennedy fucking guy that's in Trump's cabinet. Um she's anti that guy, at least. So, I don't know. I assume she's anti-Trump, but who knows? I think we'll end here. I think I will probably settle on Eva and Hannah being lower. 48 feels very MAGA, except for I don't think any is anyone MAGA in the endgame stretch there. Like Kyle and Camilla definitely aren't. Joe isn't. Again, Eva's like debatable. I don't know. I don't think she is, but like, who knows? Generally, Mitch might be the like Mitch is from Texas, so it's like I don't know. You never know. Shaheen's definitely not MAGA. I would be very surprised if Mary is MAGA. Star, I would suspect, is not MAGA. David is like, okay, David's a maybe. And Chrissy's a maybe. I'll be surprised if Cedric's MAGA, but I guess, like, I don't know, you never know. But I don't know. It's like, there's definitely, there's not that many MAGA on 48. Chrissy seems liberal. I generally don't know. I could not tell you a single thing about Chrissy outside the show. Anyway, all right, that's it. I'm fucking brain dead at this point. Next stream we'll continue. How many people are we through? Dude, fuck me. 128 people. 17%. Oh, Chrissy Halpeck definitely is MAGA. I'll be very surprised if Chrissy Halpeck's not MAGA. Like she's from the fucking Villages, so like I would assume she's MAGA. Yeah, next stream we'll continue. Get the debate fucking Candace Woodcock / Cody. I should probably change that to Cody, right?